What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Reality Kingdom, where we put the real in reality or whatever. Period.
Period. We're here.
We're here. We're here to discuss Big Brother 25, Week 3, or whatever.
AKA the Fields Family Playhouse.
The Fields Family Values.
The Fields Family Farm.
The Fields Family Values.
Where that's from?
The Braxton Family Values.
Oh, period. I didn't know you watched
that. Tamar winner of Big Brother.
Of Big Brother. Cameo, period.
Period. The fuck. Yeah, let's get into this motherfucking team. This was.
I hear something.
What you hear?
Are you tired? Are you over it?
I'm sick.
Is she done? Is she done?
One, I'm sick. Two, honestly, I'm not over. This is what happened this week with me, y'all. The beginning of the week, I was like, oh, it's getting a little juicy, you know. Mm-hmm. Cirie and them going crazy a little bit, like, oh, maybe backdoor red. Very quickly, I was like, oh, I'm over it. Like, I'm over it. Not a question. They got a random question. Lee?
Well, we met in high school.
Unfortunately.
You couldn't answer. Oh, you don't. Actually.
You met me. No, I'm playing.
Bitch, don't try it. You know me. I don't even know you.
Yeah, it was big beef.
Big beef?
It was big beef.
Girl.
I didn't fuck with him at all.
She wants to beat me so bad.
I'm making shit up, y'all.
Let's go with the podcast. Come on.
Boom. I was not feeling it because I was sick of the Cirie flip-floppy, and it just seemed like people were going home randomly or being targeted randomly. They were targeting Mecole and Bowie and Red, and I'm like, okay, like at this point, honestly, I'm done with it. It's not even interesting because it's not strategic, you know. And that's the thing. A lot of people are like, you don't want entertainment. Honestly, I'm gonna speak for myself. I don't watch Big Brother for entertainment because Big Brother is not entertaining in that way for me. If I want to see some drama, bitch, I'm turn on if anything, the challenge. You know, If I want to see some drama, I might turn on a whole nother show, a whole nother reality show, a Love Island show or something. You know, for Big Brother, I'm here honestly for the strategy. So I'm sorry if the strategy is not strategy and I get tired. That's what the fuck happened. That's what happened in the middle of the week because they were just doing random shit. They were just panicking and shit. I'm like, calm the fuck down. But honestly, we calm back, and now I'm back to I'm here. I'm here for the ride, and I'm ready to go. Lee, was you feeling good this week, or you was feeling bad this week?
I was definitely feeling bad this week. I literally tweeted earlier in the week. I was like, honestly, like, I feel like week 2 proved to me that Cirie can do whatever the fuck she wants, and she's always going to end up in the best position of the game. So I was like, and at the end of the day, I am here for Cirie. At the end of the day, I do want her to still win. I have a slight bias from knowing her in the Survivor realm. I do kind of still want her to win. So I'm not as annoyed by her presence as other people. I'm actually very much here for it. Mm-hmm. However, the Mimi target just gave very much, like you said, like, and I'm okay with the delusion on some people. I still feel bad. Like, I don't agree with the Hisam move, which we're going to get into. I don't agree with them turning on Red, Bowie, or Cameron. However, I'm fine with letting them go. Now, Mimi, that's where my bias is coming in again. It's like, I'm fine with what Cirie's doing until it starts affecting Mimi.
Yeah.
And we talked about this off the podcast. I think overall, whether you like her, whether you don't like her, who you're rooting for, who your bias is for, it's like, it's not necessarily fun when they're fixing things that don't exist. So, like, a lot of the stuff that they're, like, finding in people to distrust, it's just straight up made up. And, like, to the fact of, like, now that they're acting on it, it's becoming real. But it's, like, not because it was actually happening, but because these people are now forced to be in those positions. So, I don't know. I can definitely see how some people thinks it's boring, because I do see one comment saying the season is boring because of Cirie. And I honestly can see how you feel that. I'm not going to lie, because it is going to be a steamroll. It is going to definitely be a steamroll. I just personally, I don't care. I don't care. I'm sorry. I don't care.
I thought it was boring. And I was telling Lee week 1. I was like, low key, I'm finna be uninterested real fast because I know it's gonna be, you know, Cirie steamrolling. I'm not a fan of the steamroll. I'd rather people all play bad and it be more even playing field than someone steamrolling. And my attachment to Cirie, it just never gets to that level. I don't really get to that level with nobody. So even though I like Cirie, I don't like her enough to where I am gonna be entertained just because she's steamroll. Like, I can't do it. Like I can't do it. Even though I want her to succeed in the game, I just don't want to steamroll. And no one really wants a steamroll. No one's saying I want a steamroll. Yeah. But I think a lot of people, some people are okay with it, and they're like, well, look, Cirie's winning. And for me, it's just not giving that. Like I'm bored, and each week is just proving to me like, ooh, this is gonna be an easy season. And I told someone on Twitter, I was like, I mean, I know Cirie or one of her daughters or sons is winning. And they was like, oh, so you just see the future. And it's like, I guess the fuck so. Because I know one of Cirie or her daughters or sons.
For a fact. I mean, the core right now in the house is Cirie, Jared, Izzy, Felicia, Cory. One of those five is winning this season. That is what's happening. And if you don't think so, girl, you're not paying attention. Like, they just have too much control right now, and they have way too people snowed. Come on, Pyramid. We're giving Abby Lee Miller at the
top, at the bottom of the pyramid. Hisam, you didn't do it for me this week. You lied, and you underperformed.
And at the top of the pyramid again for the third week in a row, we have Cirie. You've done it again.
Cirie, you keep going above and beyond my expectations. Shout out to Lan.
Period, make it rain, Land.
Period, make it rain. But yes, boom. This is the pyramid. And of course, Cirie's at the top. But this is it's like vaguely the house structure. You know, Cirie is mother running everything. And then her sons and daughters are in the core. And then this next level, it's like Cory is connected to them, but Cirie and them know Cory got to go. So that's why I'm like, okay, he needs to be under them. Mecole is connected to Cirie, Jared, and Felicia by the brown sugar babies, of course. And then Blue, Jag, and Matt are connected to them by the 7-person alliance they made. So there's that. And everybody else is really just not connected to them. Bowie does have the Bye Bye Bitches. Red does have the professors. But baby, they're ready to nominate them as pawns. They're ready to backdoor them. The people at the bottom are going home. Sorry. Starting with Hisam.
Yeah. So no, the pyramid is not based on our
like this is just a vague. I just wanted to show the pictures, and this is just a vague structure of
the house. So like house. Immediately, like towards the top is definitely the safest and probably least likely going home. And the people towards the bottom are least connected and more on the chopping block. Because like that's what we were thinking about how it's happening. We're just thinking like this is a pyramid, and Cirie's at the top, and all information, all strategy, all gameplay flows through. To the bottom.
Yeah. So it's not perfect. It's just a way to visualize the players as we're talking about them, especially in like a structured way.
Oh yeah. Someone said, "Look, it's going to be another big twist." I didn't even think about that.
That's true.
It's going to be another twist coming. However, we've seen that people who have established themselves in the game, where they have a power structure, they have numbers, they're just generally smart. Like they're going to be able to outsmart the twist. So I honestly don't expect it to affect them too much, but we will see.
Yeah, it'll be cute. That's the thing. Like, I will say, if I have to hope for anything, I guess that's something I can hope for. Because me, I'm bored. I'm sorry, y'all. But so at the beginning of this week, Reilly went home, and what happened before Reilly went home is that Jag tried to do a Hail Mary at the end of last week, and we didn't get to talk about it. Jag tried to do a Hail Mary and save Reilly by claiming that he's gonna that everyone else is voting for her to stay. That pissed some people off, but it kind of dies down by the end of this week. Mm-hmm. But at the beginning of the week, it pissed people off, and that goes into Miss Felicia's nominations. So Miss Felicia wins HOH.
Period.
First of all, let's talk about that.
I'm actually very, very excited about it. I'm excited that she won. Now, what she took place during the week, we'll get into. But I'm excited that she won. I mean, it just shows that they're doing more equitable comps this season, and I really, really appreciate that. I love that she is the oldest woman house guest to win an HOH in Big Brother history, period. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I love that she's in the game. I love that she's able to, build a resume, because a lot of people question, can Felicia win this game? And it's like, her taking out Hisam, that's not something that people are going to forget. I mean, if her social game stays well, it's like, she's someone that people are already considering as a player. So I do think if, she stays in this petition going to the end, like, I don't know, we can walk away with a Felicia win. Like,
it sucks because Big Brother's a lot about perception. I think Miss Felicia is a great candidate for a winner already because she's playing so well. She's well-centered. She's probably in one of the best positions. Yeah, she is playing well. Honestly.
I think she's in a great position, but we'll get into why I'm questioning the well.
Oh, no. I think, I I see. But I like her reads. She's one of the main people pushing to make sure we keep Mecole
Mhm.
safe
And I guess we can
over
go ahead and get into it a little bit. Yeah, like I don't have
over
to
some
go
other
ahead.
people. Like I like that about Miss Felicia, and I think when she does wear her HOH, it's like she helps solidify this group that she kind of really wanted. If we want to talk about who wanted this group the most and who made the group, like Felicia does a lot of good things
Mhm.
with the gameplay. Honestly, I like it a lot. I think she'd be a great candidate to win.
I think my thing with Miss Felicia, I love her. I love her so much. She provides so much entertainment, but I just think that her and Izzy, the other
Oh.
Field's daughter, she they're not really putting, I feel like, their individual gameplay first. And that
Mm-hmm.
really bothered me this week, especially with Felicia being the HOH, because when she wins, of course, her targets is Hisam, but she wants to nominate Jag and Cam to do so. When Jag is nominated, he pitches this new 7-person alliance that would include him, Blue, Matt, plus Jared, Izzy, Felicia, and Cirie. And you're right. I do like that she took that opportunity to really push for this group to happen and really make this work. But I just hate how every time I'm watching individual strategic conversations with Izzy, Cirie, and Felicia, it is them ignoring their own personal connections, their own feelings, their own biases, and just doing whatever Cirie wants.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, that thing is just kudos to Cirie for misting her allies and everyone in the game. But it just sucks because I feel like there are a lot of people in this game where, like, Felicia, you'll have an individual relationship with, Izzy will have an individual relationship with, and they just always defer to Cirie. I think Izzy's a
Mm-hmm.
little bit more
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
obsessive with it, but
Mhm.
I do think Felicia just I think Felicia more so goes with the flow. I think
Yeah.
Izzy specifically does an entire 180. I think Miss Felicia mainly goes with the flow, but I don't like how it's just like Cirie brings it up. Well, let's put him up. I'll
Yeah.
just put him right on the block. Let's
Yeah.
do it. And like, I just didn't like seeing that from her this week because like it's just like that's what's helping Cirie stay in so much power because her closest allies are completely willing to do whatever she wants to do. I feel like we talked about this off the podcast. I think the reason why every time it gets so chaotic in this season is because Cirie will say something instead of someone, going through the information in a way that would come to a conclusion that would, benefit the entire all of them, or just at least a way where their entire games aren't blowing up. They
Mhm.
immediately start acting on it. It's immediate. And I think that's because you have Felicia and Izzy, people who are willing to just go with it. They're just willing to just do it. And it's like no one's fully thinking, and then they just start hyping each other up, and it just goes from there. And it's like the only person to bring them back down is again Cirie. So it's just like
Mhm.
it's sad because they're also damaging their games in the process because they are now in front of targets in front of her.
Yeah, I was gonna say with Felicia versus Izzy, I like that Felicia seems to do a lot of work with making sure the people who are being brought in are close to her. Like Jag just got done saying the people he trusts the most are Cirie and Felicia. When someone else was saying, "Oh, Cirie," he was like, for me, it's Cirie and Felicia." I know with
Mm-hmm.
Matt, he likes Felicia a lot. She has a great one-on-one with her. Blue is telling Felicia more information than she's telling Cirie. So I do like that Miss Felicia actively creates connections with these people. I feel like Izzy just kind of
I agree.
lets it happen.
Her
So
social
I
game is
like that.
great.
But we could get
Felicia's
more
social
into it
game is definitely top tier, and
with
I
like
will
the
I will give her
yes,
that. The social
yeah,
game is great. It's just that strategic ability it defers to Cirie a lot, and
mm-hmm.
I just do not like that.
Yeah. So she wins HOH, and Cirie, kind of what Lee just said, Cirie helped shape Miss Felicia towards the direction that she wants to go, which is to backdoor Heisem for sure. Because initially Miss Felicia was like, Jack can go. Jack could go. And she was mad because Jack had did the thing with Reilly claiming that Miss Felicia had flipped back to saving Reilly, which was a
Yeah.
lie.
Oh, she was
Bold facts.
pressed about that.
She was really mad about that. So she was like, I'm just gonna nom Jag and Cameron, and Jag can go. And if he wins, we know Cameron can go. I don't give a fuck. And then Tariq and Izzy went upstairs to her and basically were like, we're backdooring Heisman this week. And Miss Felicia was like, oh, backdoor Heisman now. And it's like, okay. Period. So the agreement began that Heisman's going to be a backdoor. She's just going to nominate Jag and Cameron. And this is when, after that, Felicia had a conversation with Jag. They created the 7-person alliance, which is Cirie, Izzy, Jared, Felicia, Jag, Blue, and Matt. That is the 7. They are now called the 7 Deadly Sins.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like a new structure. And girl, you know how Cirie and them is with structure. So it's like it could be a new structure for today, and that's it for tonight. But it's been consistent throughout the week, so it's gonna be something we're gonna talk about. So boom, that's the plan. Backdoor Hisam. Does anything happen between? Oh yes, before we get to him actually getting backdoored, there was wavering, as they do all the time, about potentially taking out Red instead. And this happens because Red and Cameron are trying to shake some shit up this week, y'all.
Yeah.
They've had many conversations about Red realizing, well, Cameron tells Red about the plan to backdoor Hisam. Because Cameron is told about it, everyone in the house knows about it, but Red. And Cameron tells Red the plan. And Red had already been feeling antsy about his position because they literally have stopped talking to him as much. And that, plus the information from Cameron, made Red kind of shift his pace. How do you feel about what Red did right here after this? Because he kind of like tries to rekindle a relationship with them, but then also you can see he kind of tries to start making stuff with Cameron. So what do you think he should have did, or do you like what he did?
I mean, wait, you mean like going to talk to
Cirie after he found out this information? I feel like what his two biggest things was he went to them to try to plead his loyalty, and then also we see he's trying to now make a whole new thing with Cameron. Do you feel like he should have chose one or the other, or do you feel like he should kind of do what he got to do, or do you feel about it?
I mean, I think honestly he did the best that he could do. I mean, when you think about it, a lot of the mistrust they have for Red is so made up. Honestly, it just is. Red is a very perceptive person, but he's not necessarily the best strategic game player. I mean, basically, once he went to them and got Felicia to admit that she wanted to backdoor Hisam, when he left the room, they immediately clocked that clearly he was told. They assumed Bowie told him, or Bowie and Cameron told him, and they assumed that he did this to try and bait her into getting him to say Hisam, and that he did do that. I will say that is what he was doing. However, it's because he genuinely wants to work with them. Like, he really wants to be in their core, and he has been wanting to be in their core since the beginning of the game. I do think it is a shifty of him, this relationship he has with Cameron, some of the things he shared with him, but I do think from Red's perspective, he is doing what he can to protect his game, and that is sticking with that group. So honestly, I don't necessarily think that there's much that he can do. Like, there's not many things that he was going to be able to say that was going to get them to change their mind. So I have no idea. Someone was like, how many alliances has Cirie created? Child, well, we know there's the brown sugar babies. There is the Baba bitches. That's 2. We got the professors. We got the 7 deadly sins. There's another group that forms this week that's supposed to be an 8 with everyone in the professors except Hisam and Mimi, basically. When they added Cory and Jared, that doesn't even have a name, so that's not real. So it's about 4 to 5, plus her little duos and trios and final twos, and
boom. So after the Red situation, he tries to rekindle that. They start getting more and more upset with him, and then they're trying to decipher whether or not potentially he should be backdoored instead of Hisam. And there was a lot of momentum for this. Like, there was a lot of momentum that had built up. They were going like damn near crazy that night. That night, it was really, really big. They had brought it to Felicia. It was Felicia, Izzy, and Cirie in the HOH room all night.
This is after Jag's veto win, right? Or no?
Jag had already won the veto. That's correct. Okay. So Jag had already won the veto. And then they got worried, more and more worried about Red and Cameron kind of as a duo. And we're like, maybe we should backdoor Red. And this night, it got real crazy. And so they went into the HOH room, and it was just a lot. It was because they were basically trying to decide who to take out, because their process is there is an entire side. Izzy was literally sitting before she brought all of his up. She was literally sitting, and she was like, oh my God, we don't have the numbers, because they have Matt, Jag, Blue, Cory, Mecole, America, Cameron, Red, Bowie, Hisam. That's 10. And it's
they
like,
was just saying names. They were literally just naming the people in the house.
She literally listed the cast list.
So there's literally a video someone clipped of all of the names
That
they
they
didn't
said.
went through. They said America's name, Mimi's name, Bowie, like
You know.
Red. Like they was like, we can put anybody can go up.
Yeah.
Anybody can go up. And this night when I was just getting so annoyed. Because like
That was an
that's
album.
where it's like it's not fun to see them trying to work out things that's not even happening. Like Bowie is not with some middle group because this middleman alliance, that's what's causing it all. That is what's causing it all. So if you don't know, Cory made a joke about the people in the middle potentially working together, and Cirie assumed that alliance was Mimi, even though her name was not mentioned.
It's reassumed.
Cameron, Red, America, Bowie, and they wanted Cory.
Yeah.
So she assumed there has been a group, and this is what's gotten her so nervous because she thinks if this group is real, they can pull in all of these people, and they're making us take out Hisam. So maybe we need to keep Hisam.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a lot of delusion because I mean, Mimi just last week was telling y'all to not go after Hisam.
Yep.
So I just think like it's annoying because it's like, are y'all forgetting past conversations? Like it feels like it's not based on any actual like real information. Mm-hmm. It's just them sitting up there talking.
Yeah, they're literally making up a reason for everyone. It was crazy. It was like watching. It was just so weird because they were literally talking and they're like, okay, so we need to make sure Hisam stays. And then they started thinking, well, maybe Red and Cameron don't need to go, and maybe we need to just backdoor someone else altogether. And maybe we should just take out Bowie. Or we should make sure Cameron goes. So let's put up someone who will stay against Cameron. So they're like, maybe Bowie, maybe America. But then they're like, fuck, they just evict America. And they were like, okay, maybe we put up Mecole. And they were like, oh, wait, no. They might just evict Mecole. And then they were like, well, maybe Mecole just needs to go. Maybe it just needs to be.
Oh my God, y'all. And when I tell y'all, because this is the night you were watching, I was taking a nap. I was taking a nap, and Pharaoh was watching. I woke up to hella updates, and the last thing I saw was, I'm turning it off. They pissing me off. Yeah. I'm going to bed. I'm annoyed.
Yeah.
And then I came into Mecole. I came into all of this mess, and like, let me set the scene, y'all. They are all three in the bed, watching the HOH TV, watching the people walk around. They downstairs, look at the kitchen. Look at Blue and Jag. You see how they ain't coming to talk to you, Felicia? Felicia's like, yeah, no one can't talk to me. She's like, because they all think they're safe. They think they don't need to come talk to you. They don't even want to come up here. Blue comes up there and brings them food. Oh, hey, Blue, hey. Blue leaves. She didn't want to come up here. She didn't even ask about the alliance. You see how they didn't even try to come and make this alliance? They didn't even try to come solidify the 7 deadly sins, so it can't be a real alliance. And it's just like, it's so crazy. Mimi
comes up here. She ain't been up here all day.
But Bowie comes up, the door's locked. They don't even let her in, which she then spirals from that information. Mimi comes up, they let her in. She sits for a while, awkward as hell, because they don't want to talk. They just got done trashing her. They don't want to talk to her. So she leaves. She clocks the tension. But in general, they're literally just, when Mecole goes downstairs, she's talking to Jag. Look at her talking to Jag. And she just told her, look at her mouth. She just told her who's up there. He just asked who's up there. And it's just like, what are y'all talking about? They're literally watching live feeds in the Big Brother house.
Live from inside.
Without sound, and just making up conversation. And then reacting strategically about it. It's just like, oh my God. Because this night, this is when I told y'all about the lines earlier. They pulled in Jared and
walks in. They start talking to Bowie for a good while.
Yes, because Bowie, she gets really paranoid. She starts spiraling. She speaks to Mimi about it. Mimi's like, girl, calm down. It's not that serious because Mimi childish.
But it was.
She didn't even know. But Bowie, she starts doing a lot of what I wanted Mecole to do. But I mean, honestly, she don't need to do it because she's still good. But she starts hanging around them more, starts talking to them more. Specifically that night, she's opening up about how she felt outcasted, maybe not have that much information. She wants to be involved. And they end up making alliance with her.
Yeah, she says she don't want to play in the middle. So they're like, okay, Bowie, you in. And then they start talking about who else is in. And they're like, okay, we know we got Jared and Cory because they're literally fields.
Wait.
That's when this happens. That's literally when this happens. So they know they have Jared and Cory. They bring Jared and Cory in the room and they tell them everything they've been saying. And Jared was like, wait, how do y'all know all of this is happening? Because they're literally saying everything is going on. And Cerie's like, it's in the air. You
You
can
can
feel
feel it
it
in
in
the
the air.
air. You can feel it in the air.
But
And then
still.
so let's kind of deep dive into this a little bit because the people are basically saying the reason why she's doing this is because she is used to playing Survivor. High
I said
tweeted,
it.
yeah, High tweeted like playing Survivor. He was on Survivor what 43, 42, one of them. And he was basically saying like this is how Survivor is. Like it's fast paced. Anyone's a target at any time. Anyone's name can be said. And we see Cirie saying a lot, specifically about Bowie. I'll use an example. She'll have a conversation. She'll be like, and people around here thinking Bowie is just, everyone is here for a reason. Bo, you didn't get casted for nothing. You came here to play. And baby, that's just not the case. I tweeted earlier, I was like, literally, I think one of her flaws is that she's assuming everyone in the game is just as smart as she is. But baby, this is Big Brother. You
They're
I
not
feel like she got
casting
so used to
Harvey
getting
over and over
maternity
again.
seasons because Big Brother cast one mastermind a season, and girl, it's you. And you're miles ahead. No one's gonna be able to catch up. And I just feel like that is really clouding her judgment because there are people like Bowie, Mecole, Red. People are just down for the ride. They really are. Like they really are. Blue offering herself up as a pawn. These girls don't be thinking, Cirie, they don't.
They don't. She don't play with no newbies no more, child. But I was telling Lee, I was like, I think, and this is. I was telling Lee that I feel like she be making it up, but that's not how I really feel. I do feel like she genuinely thinks these things, but also I think Cirie has just become natural at creating targets in front of her. In Survivor, that's what she had to do. She had to consistently make sure someone else was going home before in front of her, especially her first season. Because her first season, she was like really at the bottom. Like everyone was just gonna vote her out because she wasn't good at challenges. So she was the pro at making someone else a target in front of her. And I think that's why she's so good at coming up with these creative ideas on how to make Bowie actually threatening. I was telling Lee, I was like, if she doesn't say these things about Bowie, no one will ever get her out. And then Cirie could go home in front instead of her. And it's like, I think Cirie, even if it's accidental, I think it's more subconscious. Like she's learned the muscle memory of Big Brother. She knows how to make sure people are targets in front of her. She knows how to position herself. She knows how to do all this shit. I think she's on, and I told Lee this too. I was like, I think, not even I think, Cirie is the most experienced person to ever play Big Brother. She has played 5 other social strategy games. So coming into Big Brother this season, she is the first person we've seen who has this much experience with a social strategy like game. So I think she's at a level that honestly is just unreachable and that she's just definitely getting to the end of this game. And it was hard for us to see it at first because the way she plays is so different and unique. But by week 3, I'm very confident in the fact that, oh, this girl is good. Like we're good, and it makes everyone else I think look even worse than they already are. They probably are not that great, but it makes them look even worse, honestly, because it's like you just look like y'all not doing nothing. People are on Twitter dragging Mecole and dragging America, and it's like I don't think we would be dragging them if they weren't playing good.
They're playing with a god tier player. Like
yeah.
If she makes it, she's gonna be at the end of the season. And when I tell y'all, she's already in the top tier. She's
already in competition of best player. When we're talking about best player, Dan or Cirie, that's where we're already at.
And if she win, I'm sorry, y'all, she got it. If she wins, she up there. Even if she doesn't win, like if she gets like top 5, like girl, top 10, top 15. Best player of all time. I don't know. Y'all gonna be mad. I'm gonna have to give it to a little bit.
So, anyways, Cory and Jared end up calming them down and reel them back in towards we got to just target Hisam and get over it. And they're down with that. So it seemed like it was such a long time until Hisam got evicted because
he's still ain't evicted, girl.
I mean, until Hisam got renommed. But some of the big events were this alliance. The 7 finally met. They met before he was nommed, right? I'm pretty sure they did. Yeah, they met real fast. So the 7 met real fast for the first time, which was the Blue Jag Matt and them alliance. And when that 7 met, the 7 started exchanging some information here and there. So eventually, Blue and Jag end up finding out that Red and Cameron have been saying their names because they have. And we can get into that because Red and Cameron are trying to build something up. So what happens is they pull in Cory to have a conversation about how they would love to basically build something with Cory and some other people.
Get into specific people.
Yes, the other people. And Cory was like, okay, what other people y'all thinking? They're like, well, maybe Matt, especially Matt, maybe Bowie. And he's like, anyone else? And they're like, we don't really want anyone else. But if we
what
have
about
to choose,
Mimi? Not Mimi.
not Mimi. If we have to choose someone else, maybe America. She's a little lighter. So someone like her, if anything. But they're wanting to keep it very bright,
transparent.
They want a bright alliance, like the sunny, like you know.
You're not trying to brighten up the place. You're trying to whiten up the place. You know where that's from.
They want alliance to look a little bit. They just want similar traits between.
Similar background.
It's what it feels like. It's what it feels like. Specifically, Cameron, I like to say.
They're not pairing up with an opposite. They're not.
So anyways, Cameron is pitching this alliance to Cory, and Cory has way more information than him because he's a Cory Warden Fields. So Cory is
Cory Warden Fields.
They ate. So Cory's like, when they're mentioning Matt, Cory's like, you think Matt? And they're like, well, yeah, we have Matt. Matt will go with the majority. And he's like, I think Matt has a lot.
Majority, by the way.
I think a lot of people have Matt. And they're like, he'll go with the majority. I'm thinking he'll go with the majority. That's not y'all.
They meant the majority in America.
Like, what? Like, it was not y'all. But Cory's basically trying to tell them, baby, it's not getting mad. So anyways, Cory ends up leaving after they don't listen to anything he says, and they basically say, listen to us, son. They're trying to son Cory.
They really are, because he had a lot of good information. He was giving him a lot of good information. Well, not a lot. He was being kind of coy, but he was giving them information.
He wants them to stay low-key.
Exactly. But y'all know Cameron. Cameron thinks he knows everything. Cameron's a know-it-all. I mean, we saw how he was with the whole Reilly alliance, and he flipped on them and to protect her. Like, he thinks that he got this game wrapped around his finger. And I will say, he clocked that Cirie and Izzy are running it. They're making it pretty obvious, no shade, but he clocked it and he's aware of it. But it's like, he thinks that he knows how to get them out and what structure needs to be built and how they're going to be able to get to the end. And he doesn't realize he has zero power. And Red is making him think he probably is safer than what he is, because every time Red talks to Cirie, she plays in his face and he immediately believes it. Mm-hmm. So I think they have a sense of confidence thinking that Cirie and the professors are still protecting them, when that is not the case, not in the slightest.
So Cory leaves and Matt walks in, and their idea is to pitch this concept to Matt. Meanwhile, Matt had just solidified the 7 with the 7. So they pitched the concept to Matt that they need to all get together. They need to start taking out the Jags, the Blue, literally Jag and Blue to Matt face. Like, girl, what? Jag, the Blues, Cirie's, Izzy's, all
and
that.
And I thought this was a bad thing.
So Matt leaves this conversation and he talks to Jag about it immediately. And Jag is like, girl, what they say? Because I know they was talking shit about me because I know they want me out. Matt is like, oh, they weren't saying too much. They were just discussing Mimi.
Yeah, they told me they want me to go after Mimi. Mm-hmm. And he was like, what?
and Jag is like, that doesn't make sense because I literally know they're coming after me. And I'm assuming that's probably what they're telling you. Like, it just wasn't adding up. And Matt was stuttering and stumbling, and he didn't really know how to respond to Jag, clocking that probably wasn't what it was saying. But it wasn't given Jag was suspicious of Matt. He just was like, they're lying to Matt. So Matt, you shouldn't believe them. They're lying to you.
I think he said that Mimi told them that she was targeting Matt, and he was like, they could just be lying to you, because why would Mimi tell them that? That doesn't make any sense. Whole time Matt is just a terrible liar and said anything and got caught up that fucking quick. But I was shocked in this moment because I'm thinking, Matt is not a Fields. He has his own mind.
He wasn't born yet.
Game, but I mean, we found out later he's just not going to tell Jag, because later the next day he's just going to tell his mother, Cirie.
Yeah. So next day, Matt tells his mom, Cirie, and we have birthed another son. Literally. Well, not literally. And let's rewind, because 2 nights before this, Cirie made a deal with Matt and Jag in the back room. And it was based on the fact that Reilly told the 3 of them to work with the 3 of each other. And so she's
confirmation, because she said that in the exit interviews that she told them to trust Cirie, which is crazy. Yeah. She is single-handedly about to ruin their games.
So Cirie is using that information from Reilly to create a bond with Jag and Matt. And it worked, especially with Matt, who was in love with Reilly. So now Matt is indebted to Cirie because Reilly leveraged for Cirie for Matt. So now Matt's going to do anything Cirie wants, probably, in my opinion. And we start to see that he gives her so much information now.
Yeah.
Like everything he hears, he gives either Cirie or Felicia, because those are the people he trusts the most. That's what Reilly told him to trust, his girl.
And we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it on the rating a little bit more. But like, he's in an interesting spot because everyone thinks they have Matt. Yeah. Everyone thinks they can control and run Matt because I mean, he's socially with Jag and Blue. He's still under the cover, being complacent with Cameron and Red, and then Cirie, Jared, and Felicia are making sure to bring him in to one-on-one conversations, trio conversations, not even with Jag and Blue at this point. They're just bringing Matt in to just talk to him separately. And I don't really know where Matt goes. That's definitely be interesting to see because I think specifically Jared thinks he can make him do whatever, but I don't think Matt cares about Jared.
He doesn't. He can make him do whatever, 100%. Or even like Felicia, I don't think Felicia's going to try to make him do anything. That's the thing. Of the people who might try, which is probably Jared, Cirie, Cory, or Cameron, I think he's going to listen to Cirie.
Mm-hmm. Now, the day of the back door, right?
Girl, the morning of. You're thinking, oh, it's just going to be a simple day. Hell no. There's a lot going on. So basically,
Blue finds herself trying to put herself back in a good position because for some reason Red told Jared that he isn't trusting Blue like that. He doesn't really like her, Jag, or whatnot and things. And Jared, of course, told his sugar mama, Blue. And Blue went to work. She said, I'm going to start talking to Cameron and Red and try to get back on their good side. She pulled them aside, grabbing them all in public and talking to them. Well, Miss Felicia didn't like that.
I see why she was like. That's the thing. Like people were judging her for grabbing them in public. I see why she was grabbing them in public. She's not really trying to work with these niggas. She don't give a fuck. That's why she was grabbing them in public. She don't give a fuck. Like Felicia, you can see me grab them. We're in alliance. They're not in alliance. But Miss Felicia didn't like that
at all. So she pulled Jag right in front of the living room. She's like, I know. Tell me what y'all are doing. Because
I'll put y'all up.
I'll switch this shit around right now. Right the fuck now. And then he takes her to the room. He's like literally genuinely confused. She's like, why am I seeing Blue grab Cameron and grab Red? Are y'all doing something? Are y'all playing me? Because I'll switch all this shit around.
All this shit around. And Jared's in the room. They're talking in front of Jared.
She don't care who heard it. She not give a fuck.
She don't care. She said, I'll switch all this shit around. And she was dead ass.
She was dead ass.
But Jack was like, So they disperse, and Felicia goes upstairs, and she starts talking to, is it Izzy? Somebody who's hyping her up. Like, damn. Izzy ass. And Cirie ends up talking to Jag. So Cirie is like trying to calm the situation down. So her and Jag are talking. Jag is playing his side. Cirie's doing great work or whatever. Meanwhile, Felicia getting hyped up with Izzy, literally. So then Felicia, Izzy end up going in the room. They're in the have-not room with Cirie and Jag. And then they're able to hash it out because Cirie's basically vouching for Jag. She says, no, Felicia, that's not what was going on. That's not what they meant. Calms the situation down. Mm-hmm. And then after Felicia gets to talk to Blue, and Blue basically tells Felicia the conversation she had with Red and Cameron. And Blue had told Izzy, and that's why Izzy was hyping up Miss Felicia. Blue had told Izzy the combo, and Izzy didn't believe anything Blue said. And so she went up. Why does Izzy do that? Izzy will get told information and like choose to not believe it and then go run with it and act like it was like a lie. She basically went to Miss Felicia like, Blue just lied straight to my fucking face. I was like, what? That did not happen. That was not what happened.
Like, is it so crazy that her and Cameron...
And then she was listening at the door.
She said it's so crazy how her and Cameron said the exact same thing. Maybe because they're telling the truth. I don't know.
They're both talking about the same conversation that happened. So they thought Blue was
so untrustworthy. She's so not untrustworthy. She's so untrusting. Like she doesn't trust anybody. Yeah. I know for a fact. Like she'd be annoying the fuck out of her girlfriend. No shade. So. Izzy gives me very much.
She might not be like this.
Izzy gives me. Are you cheating on me? Do you still love me? Do you still care about like?
She needs a lot of reassurance.
She
needs to be with someone who's good at reassuring.
And maybe Paige is. That's her girlfriend name. Maybe Paige is. Shout out to Paige.
Shout out to
because
Paige.
I just feel like if she's acting like this in the house, she has to be like this, like IRL, and I can't do that. I can't do personalities like that because I'm kind of someone who needs reassurance, so I can't be reassuring somebody else.
I'm terrible at reassuring. If you
You
need, I
are.
could never date Izzy.
You are.
I could never. I would have to date like Mecole or Cory.
A
Someone you
newlywed?
say you, huh?
Mecole is a newlywed.
Well, girl, Izzy's in a relationship. Anyways, I think I would have to date someone who's a little bit more chill, laid back, Jag, Cory, Mecole, because I feel like I could just walk around doing whatever I want and they'll be okay. I can't. I don't need somebody who needs somebody. But anyways, boom. All of
So
this
girls,
happens.
take notes.
All this happens. It gets died down. It gets died down, and then when it's died down, eventually we get to the fucking back door finally.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and we miss like they keep the feeds off during it, so we miss if there was any backlash or any arguments that we think might have happened, at least initially, or a little tuffle. There was an argument with America. We think maybe something happened with Cory in the past that they didn't even show. Girl, so the feeds come back.
Trying to like push this intense stare down conversation she had with him as if it was just this big, huge thing. And it's like, girl,
you think everything about her. I noticed that today. I was like, girl, please. But fees come back. Hisam is it's awkward as fuck. I hate that tension after a back door because they're literally just at the table. It's Izzy, her mom, and then Hisam, and they're literally all just standing there, and Hisam just rubbing the table.
You will see. You will see. You're gonna go home, and you're gonna watch this, right? And you will see. You will see. I was loyal, and I was trusting, and you will see.
So I'm gonna look stupid. Come to America, right?
But I think what's crazy about all of this is that he does blame America because for the girls who don't know, America was the one kind of spreading that he mentioned leftovers in their conversation. Because this is honestly, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I was confused. I was like, I genuinely thought they made that up. But America was just spreading the truth a little bit. Well, I will say I don't even know what she was doing because basically in the conversation that he had, the context was like you guys were forming together and we were kind of just left over, including him with the alliance.
And that's the thing. There was a further conversation in that same hammock. If you keep watching, like there's a longer clip, and later on in the clip, he's like, I didn't even really want to be with them. Like I want. So then it's like she combined kind of both ideas and just put them in together. So he was feeling that way, but he didn't say leftovers in that meaning. So I think Hisam in America are literally just thinking about two separate things. So when Hisam's like, I didn't say leftovers, I think he's meaning I never called them leftovers.
Wasn't that in that context, but that's the thing. It's like because with America, when she got called out and approached by it, she was like, I mean, I don't even know if he said it now. Like I can't remember if he actually said it. And it's like I thought she purposely was like lying. So it's like, no, did you honestly think? Because I mean, the context did not give, but maybe if she was considering the fact that he basically said he didn't really want to work with him, then. But I just think at the end of the day, they took it more so like he doesn't actually want to be with us, which I think that was like initial feelings. I think initially, no, he didn't want to work with y'all. Point blank period. Like he didn't, but that wasn't the case once he was aligned with y'all. And at that point, I mean, specifically for Izzy, I mean, he saw Izzy as he saw her as his final two. And I just feel like a lot of the things that they were upset about, one, what they were saying about Hisam is doing, they're now doing in multiple ways. Lying, backstabbing, making separate alliances, pushing people out of the alliance and things like that. A lot of the stuff that they claimed he was doing about the what was it? Just identifying people as their stereotype necessarily, like, oh, you guys are the older people and you're LGBT, so I want you to be my father too, and things like that. But those were the same ideals all of them were using to come together in that first week because they all felt slighted by Reilly in the quotations Cool Kids Alliance. I think that Hisam clearly has an ego on him. I'm not going to sit there and act like he doesn't. And I think that when he took those things in, he's in the game. He got some power. It went to his head. It caused him to walk around like he was that nigga. It did. But at the end of the day, I feel like he was loyal to their group. When we consider like the quotation other alliances he was trying to make, He told them straight up that Blue and Jag wanted an alliance and that he can't touch them, but you guys can't, and I want them to go next. He straight up told them that. So I just feel like he wasn't doing a lot of things that I feel like justified this move. It did feel like a lot of emotion that went into it. However, I can respect the fact that Cirie and her team pivoted in a way to where they can ditch this alliance, create 10 new ones, and still stay in the core of the house, you know? But it's just like, it sucks because honestly, like, this was sad. Like, it was sad. Everyone thought he was going to blow up and go off and pop off. And he is a little bit he's not condescending. He's a little bit shady, or like, what's what I'm looking for? Like, it's very much like you will see. What is that? I guess it is condescending. Like, you'll see. You'll see. I don't. It doesn't even matter because you're gonna go home and see. But it's just like he genuinely, I feel like, was with them for a while. Like, I don't think this was necessarily the move, but we're here. Oh, I can't hear you.
He was 100% with them the whole time.
Yeah.
But I think he does a good job with his campaign, because we see he speaks to a lot of people and kind of tells them the same thing. But the main ones is America. So he speaks to America. And in him and America's conversation, he just lays it all out. There was an alliance. It was a group of us who were working together. At first, he has multiple conversations with America, but he kind of said the same thing. It's a group of us working together. And we got the information from Cameron. Cameron joined our group, and then Jared joined at 9. So it was 7 of us. Cameron joined, it was 8. Jared joined, it was 9. And we were all working together against y'all, which is why when I won HOH, it was easy to get out Reilly. We thought Reilly was the center. We broke her up. He tells this to everybody, right? So when he explains this to America, America already kind of clocking the house structure. All this does is reaffirm her. She's like, okay, I believe this shit. So because she believes it, she goes to her allies. Well, who she thought were allies, Jag and Blue, and she tries to push sprinkle, and she goes to Matt. She tries to sprinkle the idea of potentially saving Hisam. Now, her telling this to Matt, Cirie's son, Blue, Jared's girl, and Jag is terrible because they just go back and tell their mom and boyfriend. So everyone finds out that America is damn near trying to protect Hisam a little bit. They're like, what's going on? Like, what is she doing? She's doing a lot. She's doing too much. She needs to be the one go after Cameron and Red. So it's getting real hot for America.
For Miss America. It's really bad for her. And I feel bad because she was kind of already dropping these seeds throughout the week. And she was still slightly getting caught up because apparently she told Jared. She didn't even tell Cory, but she told Jared in a separate conversation. So he all the way knew, and he had to tell Cory, which is crazy. And then, of course, that got back to Cirie and them, but it wasn't as crucial. But now, after hearing Hisam, you know, she's actually considering, like, she knows for a fact, like, her suspicions have now been confirmed, and she's like, well, they have to go, but it's too late because they've already been snowed, specifically Blue and Matt. Now, Jag, you know, because Hisam tells Jag and Matt the exact same information, and Jag, he kind of gets a little bit more suspicious of it, and I think he's still currently suspicious of it.
He's trying to work or currently. He really is. And shit is kind of coming together because, okay, so Jag has the conversation and Jag has questions because you remember Hisam and Jag were allies and Hisam turned on that ass. So Jag has a lot more questions. So when Jag is asking him questions, Hisam's like, oh, Jag's like, what about the Jared thing? If Jared was in the 9, why did Jared choose me to go to the Nether region instead of Reilly? Because Jag told Jared, choose Reilly because Reilly will be safe and she's the main target. And he didn't. He chose Jag. And Jag was like, why the fuck did you do that? So Jag asked Hisam, why did he do that? And Hisam was like, that was the plan. We wanted Reilly to go. So we told Jared not to save Reilly. And Jag is like already suspicious of this because, you know, Reilly was his girl. So he's suspicious of anything that went on with her. And because of this, now he's kind of believing everything Hisam says. He was already suspicious of Jared because of that, but he wasn't really doing anything about it. But now he's really suspicious about it. So Jag brings this convo to Matt. He brings it to Blue. He's done brought it to America. He's talking to Cory now because he kind of feels like I need to try to do something to help. So he talks to Matt about it. He's like, look, Matt, I think Hisam's telling the truth. And Matt, being Cirie's new son, is like, but that means we just need to work with this 7. This is the new 7.
Yeah.
He does the same thing with Blue. Blue was like, oh, Blue being Jared's woman. Well, that just means we need to work with Jared in the 7.
I think that this 7
is the 7.
Like, Blue is gone. I'm so sad about Blue.
I don't know where she went.
I'm so sad about Blue, y'all.
She got snatched so fast.
I thought this was a potential mother.
You know we don't get those anymore.
And it's giving potential bird.
It is Birdie Blue,
She's a blue jay.
a whole blue jay
I
flying
hate to
around.
see it.
Girl, we're lost. We lost her to the wind. She left the nest
And she and
and
she
flew
immediately
away.
immediately the next day went to Felicia and was just like, "Well, yeah, America told me this information, and she's talking about keeping them, and
Yep,
whoop de whoop de whoop." And
yep. She's snitching on America
she's
every time.
like she's basically like gagging about the fact that America doesn't know because we have this alliance now. And
Mm-hmm.
what I like about Jag last night, and I do think that extends into the morning when he does talk to Blue and America later on, is that if they are doing this to Hisam, like they can do this to us. Like at the end
Yeah.
of the day,
In the
Hisam really
future.
doesn't have anything to lose at this point. He pretty much knows he's going home. He's at the bottom of the game, and he has been. So I don't really think his information is just getting pulled out of his ass, especially if you just look at. I think if you just take a step back and look at the game, those things
Mm-hmm.
are obvious, specifically with the information that's been given.
Mm-hmm.
Jared has been preaching since day one that he has Mama Cirie, Mama Felicia, and Izzy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Everyone knows all three of them working together,
Mm-hmm.
plus him. That's a four. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So it's like those things make sense, and they're not. The thing is, Hisam is admitting that there was an alliance, and Cirie and them are not denying that there was an alliance. They're admitting
They're big. There
that
was
there
one.
is an alliance. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
it's not hard to see that it could be true. And I think that America has clocked it. Cameron has clocked it. I do think that Jag and Blue are in positions to clock it. Blue and Matt are just snowed as fuck. I think
Yeah.
Jag is suspicious, but at this point, Jag is not surrounded by allies that care enough to help him. So I
Mm-mm.
do think that's why he's reaching out a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because like he
Like,
spoke to America literally
yeah.
today, and they were going over about how that style is created and how they need to win HOH and pull numbers in potentially. But it's just like, where's that really going to go? Because America has no power right now, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And if he wins HOH, Jag, I mean, he kind of has to go after Red and Cameron because the house is set up to where Cirie has gotten Red and Cameron to think they have to target Jag and Blue. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like, even if he wanted to target like Cirie or Izzy, it would be a waste because you still have Red and Cameron targeting you.
Yep. And that's the thing. Jag is kind of trying to work around this. Like that's why he told Matt we need to start talking to American Blue and Cory way more because we need to not target American Cory. So today he talked to America, and then now he's talking to Cory. He told America to vouch for him to Cory. America told Cory to talk to Jag. So this America Cory Jag thing is becoming conversations are being had. They've all talked today. America talked to Cory. Jag talked to Cory. Jag talked to America. They've all literally talked to each other about the same kind of
Oh,
concept.
one of them needs HOH. America needs HOH
Mhm. And
because she's in
also
danger.
they've also discussed potentially not coming. Cory and America specifically have discussed potentially maybe Cameron and Red are not the best move for them a little bit. So it's like shit could come. I'm hoping that shit comes up, but also it easily cannot if the wrong person was HOH because so many people are just not going to do that. They're the only three who would even consider not taking out Cameron or Red, and they would just take out Bowie anyways, probably.
Mhm.
Honestly. So honestly, that's kind of where we're at right now.
Yeah, I feel like a few other updates today. The big thing is that, for example, when they went to bed last night, Hisam had a conversation with Cirie and Izzy and Felicia and them, and he was basically telling them one of the big things I keep hearing today is that them backdooring him feels like when he was younger and his dad kicked him out. You know, he was outcasted by someone that he thought loved him or trusted him, and he said it felt like that moment. And they were sad about that. Like Cirie went to bed crying, like they were really upset. But they woke up and they feel like with the information brought to them by Blue and Matt and them, they are because basically what Hisam is doing is saying like Matt, they wanted to target you. Like Blue and they were coming after you, which really wasn't the case, specifically with Matt. And they feel like, well, he can say that we're in alliance all day long. That's true, but we weren't the ones naming these targets. Which is like, I mean, he's doing what he can to save himself. So Izzy called herself calling him out because she just wants to be the center of attention so motherfucking bad. She's like, what are you telling people? And he's like, what? And he's like, you telling me that we did all of that? And then she just stormed away. And he's like, well, you want to talk? She's like, no. And then she has to find every single person in the house to retell the story so people can be like, oh, I can't believe that.
Girl,
Like,
I don't even have any thoughts on that. Izzy is being weird as usual, and it's just I don't even know what to say when it comes to her because it's like I don't even understand why she's trying to make and she keeps trying to make the Hisam thing. I know she was closest to Hisam, But honestly, she keeps trying to like make it seem like he's out to get her so badly. And I don't honestly in these conversations, he's not that much out to get her. Like, I'm sorry, he's just trying to stay, I feel. And I think she's trying to make it like, oh my God, he's so mad at me and I'm just the center of attention. It's like, he's just trying to stay.
He doesn't.
He got
Like
that
like literally, like it was a conversation, and then it was like, you see how Hisam looked at Felicia, and she was like, no, he was looking at me. Izzy was like,
literally
definitely looking at me, and it was like, oh, I thought he was looking at Felicia. No, he was looking at me, definitely. And it's like, it would make more sense for him to look at the person that literally did it, not you. But okay. And then, oh, you go.
What, girl?
I was just gonna say the other recent development was the 7 deadly sins today. They coined their name and solidified, and they talked about potential targets for next week.
So 7 deadly sins, which is the 7-person alliance, they're going to target Red and Cameron. Everyone's going to target Red and Cameron. The only people who wouldn't nominate them up front is probably Cirie, who's going to throw it. And Izzy said she does want to nominate them up front, and Felicia can't play. So honestly, all of them probably are just going to nominate up in front because Cirie's probably not going to try to win. So Cameron and Red are very much so in hot water. It'll be interesting to watch out for an America, Jag, and Cory HOH. They might do something. Cameron and Red probably just gonna target Jag. I'm like, okay, that's boring. But that's kind of where we're standing going into next week. But Lee, I had a question.
Girl.
What, girl?
What is this feed update?
What does it say?
Jarrett to Blue. Okay, so hypothetically speaking, what would you do if you had a relative in the house?
Blue. Lying!
What do you mean? Jarrett, like, bruh, would you tell someone else or you keep it a secret? Blue say, I don't know, that's tough. Is this a real update?
Don't be reading these fake ass updates for me.
Oh, girl.
It was
fake. I think it's fake. It's fake. I was gonna say.
Out here spreading. Y'all, stand down, soldiers, stand down.
I was gonna say. I was gonna gag. I was gonna gag. But he did kiss us today.
That would have been a gag for real.
I mean, I think the thing is, it's coming out. He's gonna tell her.
But that's the thing. I was literally just gonna ask, how do you feel about Blue Honey?
Girl, I'm not a fan of Blue Honey. I tweeted today, which might be an over exaggeration, top 5 worst romances of all time.
It's up there.
And then some people listed like some bad ones. I was like, ooh, maybe not top 5, but top 10 for sure. I mean, I honestly
it's not good.
Honestly, just don't like it. Like, I think he showed a lot of honestly just weird and toxic feelings about relationships, about women in general. Blue openly felt weirded out and uncomfortable looking at the camera like, ooh, I know, girl. I'm just using them, girl. And she's a proud participant, like I said.
She said she can change him, Lee. Do you think she can change him?
Girl. She need to worry about changing her position in the game first.
That was by getting closer and closer to.
I will say that, but the thing is, when it was fully giving, oh, I'm doing it I'm using him, okay. But now she's just actually in love and wants to volunteer as a pawn and believing everything that he says and the alliance says and bringing all her information to them. It's just like, like they just have a lot of. It's just weird because like even like the days of like, look, someone mentioned, why does he keep asking her about her body count? Like he did that for days leading up into this moment, into them kissing today. So it's like I see a lot of people are like, oh no, Blue or free. Y'all, Blue is doing exactly what she wants to do.
Let Blue be where she wants to walk into the house. I'm not gonna snatch her out of it.
It's not a situation where she does not know. It's not like he said these things behind her back. It's not like she just met him and this is that's the thing. He probably has done way more in the past. She doesn't know, but he's openly expressed how he feels about a lot of things, and she's still like,
I didn't see women as people. He didn't say that.
Well, he said he had to stop looking at females as property. That's what he said.
I need to stop looking at females as property.
Mm-hmm. So I guess he learned to stop doing that in the past.
I wouldn't want a female with a high body count. I wouldn't date a female who had sex on the first date.
I mean, but Blue can change him, child.
I'm not a fan of Blue Honey. I'm not even a fan of Blue. And I'm not a fan of Pooh. So that's how I'm at. That's where I'm at.
I honestly hate that they call him Pooh. I hate that nickname. I hate it so much.
I like cool.
I honestly hate a lot about that show, man. It's just, I'm over it already, and it sucks because I do think she's gonna be here for a while. So it's giving. This is just
It's
the
just gonna
beginning.
grow and grow. It's gonna get worse and worse.
And like fucking Grodner needs to have a 24/7 showman's cam on all times. Like today, like they were anticipating this down. Like the way they zoom into the hand placements and the
Yes,
movements, like they think we eating this up. Like this is not cute at
at
all.
all.
Like genuinely, I thought Tangela was cuter than this. I did.
We
I
don't have to go
did.
that far.
I did. Like I'm trying to think of like the worst of the worst. Like I'm just thinking like I don't like them together. I don't like them together at all. And it both honestly just give, maybe 1,000% honest, it both gives sexually frustrated on both ends. I'm not gonna lie.
I see it, child. Child, let's get into these motherfucking ratings.
Period.
Here we go. Boom. Why is it lopsided like that? That's so ghetto. Boom.
Period.
Period. Three.
Period.
Let's start with Reilly. Reilly went the fuck home.
She did.
What would you rate Reilly as overall
player? As overall player, what did I give her last week? I would honestly say a 3 overall. I think that Reilly has potential as a player. Mm-hmm. I don't think she's ever going to get a chance to show it because out very early.
She'll show it on the Challenge USA.
Challenge USA. Literally. I think that, I mean, her social game was pretty good. Like, pretty good. I mean, she had people fighting for her to stay when she left. She had people in tears. Like, people, I mean, it was almost a flip to keep her. I will say that wasn't most of her own work. But there was just a strong want for her presence in that house. And I feel like if she was not the first situation, didn't piss people off in the way she pissed people off just by being in the position, you know? And so I just feel like if she was not in that position, she could be good right now. Because honestly, when it came to like the strategy side of it, she was not there. She really wasn't. She'd be just a snow, more snow than blue at this point. Child, she would be Reilly Fields down. Okay, yeah, so it's like it sucks because really she just won the first situation and that fucked her up. So yeah, I think a 3 is fair.
Yeah, I agree with the 3. She just, got in a position, went home. But honestly, even if she stayed, she probably still would have been a 3. It just wasn't a lot going on in that noggin. Sorry.
No.
I had to change Kirsten, y'all, because I was playing. Not too much, though. I'm just bringing Kirsten down to 2.5.
Oh, what you gave her? Yeah, 3.5.
Yeah, I was just talking.
That's what you always do. It's okay.
Oh. Girl. We got it in order from best to worst.
Period.
What you want to start with? Do you want to start with the best or do you want to end with the best?
Let's end with the best.
So let's do Cameron. Flop ass. How you feeling about Cameron?
Flop ass. I just feel like Cameron's a flop. No, I just feel like the thing is, to give him some credit, I think it is very impressive that he clocked who's running the game, because most people in this game have not clocked it. And the fact that him and America are really pretty much aware and he's trying to build this group, I think that's all, like, these are the right materials. It's just him as a player, it's never going to match up because he's way too overconfident and he does not have enough information or social prowess to be able to enact anything he's trying to do. So like I said earlier, like Red is bringing him misinformation about the professors protecting him. Like he thinks he's good with them and he's so much not. Now the good thing is that they dislike Red a little bit more than Cameron. America is inching up the target list with all of the things she's doing recently. So I do think there's a chance because Cameron, like for example, like these last 2 weeks, he's been a quiet pawn presentably. Because behind the scenes, he's been going after them. As a presence in the game, he's not imposing. He doesn't really piss people off. He doesn't really annoy people. Like Red genuinely annoys Cirie and them to the fact that they're like, we want him to go. America's doing a lot of strategic work that they do not like. So I think that Cameron is kind of like one of the few kind of like hiding behind that when he's really the main catalyst of it. But I can also just see, it being Red and Cameron next week and he's out. So I'm gonna say it's a 3.
That's sweet. I do agree. I like that he's trying to do something. He's trying to build something. That's good. He has ideas. It's great to have ideas. He has an idea of who might be running it, shit like that. Those are all cute. But at the end of the day, I just don't see a world where he's not just consistently, like I said it last week when I gave him one. If he doesn't go home this week, he's going home next week. If he doesn't go home next week, he's going home the week after that. Like I don't see a winning path. Like there's not a winning. Let's be honest. There's not a winning path.
Cameron is not.
It's barely a jury path. Like I don't even think he could. He might. He's probably not even making jury. He's probably going home.
The last thing Cameron is doing is winning the game.
One of these weeks. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like I like the work he's doing, but I only like it enough to give him a 2.
He could date Reilly before he wins the game, and that's dead ass.
Girl, and neither of those are happening. Actually, there's street saying she might. I don't know. All right, boom. It's a 2.
I hope not.
I hope not either. It's a 2. When it comes to Red, Red is like, it's interesting because I feel like Red didn't do anything wrong initially, but now that he was been left out for so long, now that they don't like him, he's
actually doing shit to piss him off now.
Yeah, and now he's trying to do stuff to build his side. Basically, they knew they thought he was on the side, so they left him out, and now he's trying to build the side they thought he was on, and now it's pissing him off even more. So now he's going to become the first target, like the main target.
Yeah.
And he could easily go home next week. He's one of the main targets. He's probably the next person going home, unless he can win HOH or a veto, or Cameron just goes instead of him. I think I know Red is like savvy a little bit with his words, but since they're so pissed at him, everything he says pisses them off. Like I thought it was good work when he went to them and tried to pledge his loyalty and but it was not. It was bad work because they don't like him. So I just don't have a lot of hope for him. I think he would have to win HOH. Cameron would have to win HOH, or if he's nommed against Cameron, he might can campaign a little bit better because Cameron doesn't campaign. Cameron just sits on the block for the most part. So I'll just give Red if I gave Cameron a 2. Well, Cameron's on the block. Red's I'm giving Red a 2 too. Not much else there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think I'll go ahead and give Red 2 as well. I mean, he's just lost a lot of favor in the game, and I just feel like his name gets brought up. His name gets brought up way more than Cameron, and it sucks. Like, I will say Cirie does a good job at misting. She does, but he trusted like that. You know what I mean? And I just think there's a lot of, because a lot of things are out in the open. They really are, and I just feel like he's way too trusting of that group when they haven't showed him any reason to be. Like his idea is, these people don't trust me. I'm going to work hard to get them to trust me. He thinks he's doing that because they're allowing him to think that. And it's just not the case. It really just isn't. And like you mentioned, like he's now doing shit that's actually pissing them off. So it's like his days are numbered as fuck. But interestingly, I think him and Cameron are going to go for this pressure cooker HOH. Yeah. So this will get really fun. And I talked about this a lot off the podcast. Like, we all know the crack trio of Felicia, Izzy, and Cirie. When they get together, anybody can go up. In this pressure cooker, with all of these alliances, there's so many alliances, but just as many alliances there's just as much distrust. So you better believe, like, let's say I feel like it's Cirie, Izzy, and Felicia. Like, no, Felicia can't play, but Cirie, Izzy, people, and then you have Jag not dropping. If Jag just so happens, like, ends up coming off that button, they're going to be like, well, why did Jack stay so long in the competition? Why did he think that he needed to win so bad? Like those type of conversations I'm ready for after this HOH, because I do think that, I mean, at first I thought it was going to be boring. I was like, it might be boring because of how much control Cirie has, but she's whipped up so much paranoia that like I think everyone feels like they need the HOH. So I think it could get really, really interesting. And I feel like if Red or Cameron win, the thing is, since they're still like they're pointed at Jag and Blue, so I think they're just gonna do a Jag and a Blue. But at this point, that's really not what's best for their game. I feel like they really should try and go after that structure that they know is there. Because Cameron mentioned, like, I know this structure is there, and they want to go after Cirie and Izzy, but they're not gonna do it, of course.
Child, you on Bowie Jane?
No, I was still talking about Cameron and Rhea. Wait, we come back.
How you feel about Bowie Jane though?
Bowie Jane, it's honestly sad. I think she did some good work this week because
it's honestly sad.
It's honestly like everyone towards this bottom, like Hisam, Bowie, Red, Cameron. These are all people who was genuinely loyal to the professors,
to the field,
and they are just ousting them. Not Cameron.
Out
Cameron
on the field.
but specifically Hisam, Bowie, and Red. Like they're ousting them on the field. Period. Like it's sad because Bowie, she loves the Bye Bye bitches, Felicia,
Yeah.
Mimi, Cirie. Like she genuinely likes them and wants to be around them, and she's just gotten grouped up with this Cameron and Red mess only all because that's the thing. Cameron pisses me off because he ruined Riley's
Ooh.
game. He's ruining Red's game. And
Mm-hmm.
he's ruining Bowie's game because when he
Mm-hmm.
came over into the professors, his big thing was like, I love Bowie. And
Yeah.
so he just keeps mentioning that. He just said, why does he love Bowie so much? Because Cameron's
Mm-hmm.
delusional.
Yeah.
Cameron
Yeah,
thought
that's fucking up.
that Bowie liked him and that he can use Bowie and Red to infiltrate this group and break it up from the inside. So when he would go to the group, he would mention how much Bowie likes him and Red likes him. And so they don't trust Bowie and Red. And it sucks because Bowie talks like damn near no game with either one of them for real. And I just think, unfortunately, she's not game savvy enough to realize like maybe she should start.
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, she just wants to go to the end with Cirie and them, and they're using her like for now. And she's definitely. I don't think any one of them are going to necessarily take her out, but she is collateral damage. Like she will go at any point, just because they, for some reason, feel like they can't trust her. And there's literally, it's sad because there's literally nothing she can do about it. So it's a 3.
Yeah, I agree with the 3. It sucks because I feel like with Bowie, she I don't think she was ever gonna win the game.
Yep, and then Cory's joke didn't help at all.
Cory's joke did not help. That's the thing. I didn't think she was ever gonna win the game, but now she's getting like a bad hand, and honestly she's doing good with this bad hand because she genuinely is just like lonely. Like I don't have anybody to talk to. I want to talk to you guys, and that's all Cirie and Izzy go out.
Oh my god! No, sorry for cutting you off.
No,
but that's what pisses me off. This shows like that she can't win for losing. When she wasn't around, she wants to be in the middle.
Yep.
Oh man, she wants to play the middle. She wants to see someone that can get pulled in. So she said, "Well, guess what? She's verbally telling them, I don't want to be in the middle. I don't want to be a floater. I am with you guys." She is purposely making sure that if she is not working out, she's damn near with them, and they're annoyed.
Yeah.
And it's like, but y'all were just saying that y'all hate that she's a middle person. So it's just like, the girl can't win for losing. It's sad. It's sad.
I agree. It sucks though because I just honestly, y'all, I feel like the season could go down a very predictable path. And it's like I could damn near list everybody's fucking eviction. I honestly think after Cameron and Red, I think Bowie will be good because I think it'll go like America, Jag, but then it's just gonna be probably Bowie, like randomly in jury, a random HOH, and then Bowie got to go home, or a lot of other people are gonna go home, and then Bowie's gonna get 5th, or Bowie's gonna get 6th, or Bowie's gonna get 7th, and it's like she's just never gonna really win, and I don't think she's ever gonna do anything to help her cause, help her game. So it's just nowhere going for her. Hisam is out of the door. But I love his campaign. It's a campaign that could work in a season with a little bit less I feel like Cirie has locked the season in. And I think if Cirie wasn't here, Hisam probably could stay low-key. The way that he's flipping America's mind, Jag's mind. I really like his campaign, and I think it's good. So because of that, I'll give him a 2, even though he's going home. But no more thoughts on Hisam. He's going home. And there's not a battle back. So.
Yeah. I'll give him a 2 as well. The thing is, he said even if there's a battle back, he's not coming back. Hisam is not talking to any of these people after the game. Like he literally told Izzy, like, I don't think we can be friends. He told Izzy straight to her face, do not think we can be friends. And I think he told Jag or Matt that, like, I mean, I would invite these people over for like a holiday or anything like that. Like, no, he's over it. And I get it. He's a Pisces. We can be very emotional.
Is Izzy Pisces? Someone asked, what's Izzy's sign?
Izzy, I saw that earlier. Izzy was born in December 16th. What's that?
Sag.
December.
Maybe a Sag. I can actually, if she
Sagittarius,
yeah, I can kind of.
And I don't know much about female Sagittarius. My dad's Sagittarius, and I don't really like him. So
we don't have the same dad. We're not brothers.
Woman Sagittarius.
You said female.
I did.
You're sick. Okay.
Watching Barrett on feeds. I'm sorry, y'all.
Girl, let's get into Matt. Y'all, with Matt, it's interesting because I don't think he's that good of a player, but I think he's in a good position because everyone thinks they can have him. I think he's presented his perception. Big Brother's all about perception, and his perception of him is that anyone can run him. Everyone thinks they can run him, and now that he's actually being ran by Cirie and he's becoming one of her children, he might make it really deep in the game and then win a few comps, and it's like, oh. And Matt is, I think, genuinely loyal to Cirie, and that's his issue. So I feel better about him position wise, but I feel worse about him strategy wise because he's going with basically he's being led to his death, like quite literally. He's being led way astray because he's not even number 5 for Cirie at this moment for real.
Yeah.
He's just a son. So because of that, it's like I love his position a lot, but when it comes to strategy thinking, he doesn't have it. So he's never really gonna go too high for me. I'm gonna have to give him a 4.
Yeah.
I'll give him 4.5. What's the 0.5 for? I'll give him 4.5. I'll give him 4.5 because his position is that good. But that's it for me. What you thinking?
I'm actually go ahead and give him the 5 because of the position. I think that
because of the position.
Like everyone thinks that they can use him in some way, and unless he wins the HOH and shows, otherwise they're gonna continue to think so. Every time Matt's name get brought up, like, oh, we like Matt. He's good. He's cool. Mm-hmm. He's good. It's great. No, we got him. No. And like Jared has mentioned, he can run them. Cameron and Ray have tried to bring him in. Of course, Blue America. Everyone in this game thinks that they're in some way connected to Matt. The only person who doesn't at this moment is Cory. Now, Cory is slowly trying to start a Matt hate train. And also vice versa. Matt does no longer trust Cory because apparently Reilly also told him not to trust
Cory and Cory. America, yep.
So he really does not like Cory, especially after this whole alliance was pitched with Cory in it and, all the other stuff. But, I mean, right now I think he's pretty good because no one thinks he's doing anything, and he's not doing anything. There's not much going on up there. It is what it is, but I don't think he's going anywhere for a while.
Yep, I see that too. How you feel about America?
She's kind of the opposite of Matt. I love America.
She's kind of the opposite of Matt. She's doing a lot, but position is terrible. I mean, yeah, she's doing a lot of good work, but her position is terrible, to be honest.
Yeah, people never. It sucks because from the beginning of the game, she never was fully brought into anything, and I think a big mistake is that she actually was someone that the other side was considering bringing in and feel like they had a connection with because she was speaking with them socially. And then over time, she just stopped that. When she got brought into the family style alliance, like she fully kind of stopped trying to strategically build anything with the other side. I mean, that alliance fell pretty quickly. And I feel like she did a good job last week of pivoting on the Reilly vote of being like, okay, this is going our way. I'm going to play with them, and it's going to be Gucci. But a lot of people in this season who are painted as flip-floppers and middle people, they are not trusted in America because the family style group did not re-solidify. So they were all kind of just numbers there. And I do think, considering the position she's in now, someone, Cory or her, should have made sure that group stayed together because now that they've been taken over by Cirie, there's nowhere that she can go to. There's nowhere she can run. Serena won't accept her, and Blue and Matt are ratting her out. So it's just like she's in a very, very bad position. The only person who's really trying to protect her at this point is Cory, which
a little bit of that
it's not working. One of the more recent updates I just saw was Cirie saying she wants America out. So I do think she's in a very, very terrible position. Now, maybe Red or Cameron goes in front of her, and it buys her a little bit of time. And these conversations with Jag is happening. I don't think Matt would necessarily nominate her. Now, Blue, at this point, Blue is a field. She's gonna do by marriage. She's by marriage.
She's a field in law.
I think Blue would win and put up Jag in America. She was told to.
Yeah,
but I do think that maybe Matt, maybe Jag, they won't touch her. Red and Cameron, they won't touch her if they win. Cory won't touch her. I think there's a few people and a few targets in front of her. But it's just like at this moment, there's no way to run. Cirie has a very strong hold on this season at this moment. And there's going to need to be a string of HOHs to go in a very specific way for her to get any type of power back from Cirie. Point blank, period. And that's just impossible at the level that she's at. So I'm going to say at the 3, I'm going to say I'll give I don't know, because she's such a huge target. 3.5.
Yeah, I see it. I was just gonna say I don't remember if I told you off the podcast, but Cirie's main target should be America. Cirie is the least connected to America 100% in this game. So for me, I always felt like America needed to go for Cirie. Honestly, for Cirie's game, America needed to go. And that's terrible for America. if America is the least connected to Cirie, which she is, she has to go soon. So it's America's game is on a ticking time bomb. Cirie has no connection to you, babe. You're out. So
it's
so
proximity to Cirie.
yeah, and her proximity to Cirie is if the pyramid could keep going, America will be at the bottom, even below Cameron and Red. She has no connection to Cirie at all. So America is not winning. She's going home. I love that she's a smart girl, but everything she says gets ratted out. Everything she says gets ratted out, and I think I was telling Lee about how it might be sad about some of the players this season not being able to reach their potential because of how OP Cirie is, honestly. And America is probably the best example of that. I think America in a season without Cirie would probably be one of the best players, or maybe even doing one of the best games at this moment, because the little side situation I think would have been way easier for America to navigate. She wouldn't have been left out so much without Cirie here. I feel like America could have been seen and probably made it way farther in a normal season with all newbies. Well, Cirie's newbie, but you get it. So for me, it's like but it's okay. She's a 3.5. Maybe she can win an HOH and become an icon in that way.
You know what I'm saying? I think that she's someone she's trying to get her troops prepared. That's why she tried to go to blue, and she now knows she can't trust blue because she realized that blue ratted her out. And today in the conversation with Jack, she was saying how me, you, she kind of spilled a little bit that Cory is with her, but I think she's trying to get people online to go after that group, and I think she is gonna go for that HOH. She's a huge super fan. America is definitely a super fan. She knows so many quips and things from being on Stan Twitter and stuff like that, BB Twitter. So I just feel like,
and she won a Miss. Oh, she lasted 15 hours on a Mr. Beast touch the button competition allegedly.
Oh, so, I didn't hear that, T.
Yeah, America played a Mr. Beast competition, and she was holding a button, and she allegedly lasted 15 hours. So a lot of people think America could definitely win.
But I think she's such a super fan that when she goes out there and she sees this fucking pressure cooker, everything is going to make her want to win this. So, and I do think,
the issue is, this is the issue, Lee. If America wins this HOH, she's going home next.
But I think the thing is, her days are numbered. Let my sister get the
icon. Yeah, I would love for her to win the HOH. I'm just saying she's going home next.
The thing is, it would suck because it would kind of be like a Jessica situation. BB19, she'd win. She'd take out someone that could have
like Bowie.
She'd probably get tricked to take out Bowie, Cameron and Red. That's the thing. So because Cory is in the Crossroads Alliance, there's another alliance I forgot to mention earlier, which is kind of the main core, which is Cory, Cirie, Felicia, Izzy. Wait, no. That's just Cirie, Jared, Cory. That's the big four. And of course, they consider Felicia a big number. The Fields family. I feel like if she were to win and do those noms and not touch any of them, that might be enough. Because I can see Cory being like, see, I told y'all, I'm run her. Just like Jared run blue. So let's keep her. And that honestly may buy her some time, because you kind of need people to get that power to prove their loyalty. If she wins to take out Cameron, well, next week let's just get out Red. I can see that.
And Cory could vouch for her. Cory could definitely vouch for her. She definitely has some ways, some wiggle room. It's just a tiny wiggle room.
Yeah.
Blue is lost, y'all, in the sauce. The issue, though, or the good thing about Blue is I think her position is just going to grow the more she gets locked in with Cirie's son. She's becoming a family member. So similar to Matt and them, she's becoming a family member, but she's an in-law. So she will be at the last. She's barely invited to the reunion. You know what I'm saying?
And
so I think that's the issue with Blue.
She walks in.
Yes, I think that's the issue with Blue. But I will say, I think as the more it grows, I think the more it's going to become easy for Jared to run her. And I think they're going to know it's easy for Jared to run her, especially because Blue snitches on all of her allies. Yeah. And if Blue continues to snitch on her allies, like she will, she's known for that, infamous baby. Honestly, I just think that she's going to end up getting like 8th place. Blue just screams 8th, So I think it's going to be a bunch of people just getting out. Cameron, Red, Bowie, Jag, America, and then boom, Blue's going to go home 8th place. That's it. I don't see much of a path. She's showing me that she's less and less strategically minded. Jag has approached her. America has both approached her about potentially not trusting Jared that much, which is stupid. Also potentially not trusting just Cirie and Izzy. She shut it all down. She says the 7 is the 7. We're locked in with the 7. I'm locked in with Pooh Honey. We're good. And it's like, you're not good. You're actually bad. So because she's delusional, That's bringing me down. But her position, I think, is still better than some other people. So she has like a running that she can go through in this game. So I'll give her a 4.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say a 4 as well. I think was bring. I would think I would have said a 4.5 or a 5 based on social positioning through Jared, but the delusion I can't do.
No.
Like the fact that you immediately went out and write it out. What? Wait, is Hisam part of Lee's draft? Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I'm losing. It okay, whatever.
Yes.
What for once.
And hopefully
For
America
once.
goes next because he has
For
America too.
once. Oh my
He
god.
has America, y'all. He has. That's
Yeah.
your last one.
Other
You
than that,
only have 3 left in
I
North
have two.
America.
I have two other Fields family, Cory and Felicia, and one of them will be winning, so it doesn't even matter.
I have
But
Jared and Izzy.
anyways, back
The
to
children.
Bluebird. It's just it sucks because I think that her and Jag are kind of both victims of this. A little bit of Matt too. Like they're just too comfortable in these groups. They get these numbers. They feel solid and
Yeah.
safe in this big group, and they don't want to specifically her. They don't want to move from that. She can't pivot from that. Like when she was in Family Style, I remember she would make all of these outside connections, and we talked about it a little bit. Like she would bring it all back, and now she's doing the exact same thing. And now she's like, oh, America's flip floppy too, and I'll put up Red and Cameron, and then literally in the meeting for the 7 deadly sins today, she was saying her name as someone who could go on the block for the alliance in case Cirie and them don't have any
It's
other
giving
options.
Christmas. It's
It's
giving
like,
soldier.
oh my god, I did not expect this from Blue. Like she really got her man and said, I'm out. I did not expect that from
But
Blue.
that's
The
the
girls
thing.
were saying that's gonna be America. The girls were saying that's gonna be Reilly. Girl, it's Blue.
Mhm. I was ignoring the here for the fans things because I don't want to believe that unless I start seeing it. But she honestly, she probably is here for exposure for her.
I think we have to get over that. I think most people who get casted for this show at this point in 2023,
Mm-hmm.
they're here for some type of attention.
I don't have that thing. I don't have a problem with it. I think I'm just realizing that actually might. At first, I didn't think that was true with Blue. I thought Blue was here to win the money, and now I'm like, oh, maybe she was just here to make jury and get her coin. And I love that for her. That's the thing.
I don't love that for her at all.
I love that for her because she's gonna get her coin. Like you said, like Blue's gonna get Blue has fans and a fan base. People gonna subscribe. Get your money that way. If you don't want to win your Big Brother money, great. At least get money on social media. I'd rather someone do that and then rather than them follow Cirie, lose, and be forgotten in Big Brother history for the rest of
she's
their life.
gonna do both. That both are gonna happen.
And then she's also gonna get money on her social media. At least get social media money. That's all I'm saying. Like Izzy and them, they finna follow this girl lose and not get no social media money. So I'll give her that. But other than that, Blue, don't apply. Please stay at home. She'd be great on the challenge. I think Blue will gag Cory real quick.
Wait, do you see Blue on the challenge? That's what I'm saying. I can't wait to see all these girls in the challenge. Kirsten, Reilly, Blue, America, Mimi. I need all girls. Bring Izzy on the challenge. Really shake this shit up.
Crap.
Izzy versus Josh on the challenge.
Ooh, Izzy on the challenge.
She would pop the fuck off.
And she says she's a physical girl.
Izzy in the hall brawl. When Izzy gotta beat America in the hall brawl, Izzy would fling America, no shade.
She would fling America. Izzy fling any of these girlies.
I don't think she's flinging Reilly. To be honest,
not flinging Reilly.
Reilly looks like she'll.
She not flinging Reilly. Reilly's flinging everyone else. Reilly's the new Tory.
I honestly can see Reilly going on there and beasting the challenge. That's like I could definitely see that happening.
Jag, I feel way better about Jag than I do about a lot of people because Jag has heard Hisam's things, and he's ever since he had his one-on-one with Hisam, he's consistently talked about it. He's talked about it to Matt, then he talked about it to Blue, then he talked about it to America, then he talked about it to Cory a little bit. So it's like he had a conversation with Jared. He didn't tell Jared the information he was telling the other people. He's not trusting Jared so much anymore. And Jag literally talked about how he needs to pivot to protect America and Cory, which is a green check mark for me. He's like potentially maybe not even target Cameron or Red. That's a green check mark for me. He's thinking, which is good, but it's like he's kind of too deep in. It's kind of too late. You let Blue get lost. Blue is lost. So they don't have Blue. If they were to come up with a coalition, they would have to literally think so out the box to make an alliance with Cameron and Red. And I don't know if they're going to be capable of going that far. If Jag, America, and Cory get together they need to realize they need to link up with Cameron and Red, and they need to make a final five, and they need to try to make it to the end of this game. And that's just so hard to do, and I don't expect him to do it. I really like how he's thinking. I don't think he's an immediate target. He's also okay with Cirie and Felicia a little bit right now. I don't think they're ready to target anyone in that seven just yet. So all of these things are good. He has time. He's building a relationship with Cory. He's building a relationship with America. He has time and he has people.
That's my biggest fear. Mm-hmm. I don't think he has that much time because
he doesn't have a lot of time. He does not have a lot of time. He has 2 weeks tops.
Mm-hmm. I will say when it comes to like strategic maneuvering and movement, this week I feel like wasn't as much. Like we had that big day where they were reconsidering who they renom, but like it feels like this alliance was coming into a fruition last week, and they wanted to save Reilly, and now it's solidified. If if Blue, Matt, or Jag win, it will potentially just further strengthen this group. It would literally have to take Izzy and Cirie and them being hella paranoid again for them to flip on this, which is probably bound to happen. But it does feel like specifically with Jag that enough people have been like saying his name, like Cory keeps mentioning it, Jared keeps mentioning it, like, so I think that the realization that we could have Matt more if Jag goes, or like he just won POV and he boosted it. It was a pretty physical competition. I can see him winning more competitions. And Jag is someone who I feel like I was saying earlier, like Jag gonna hold on to that button and they're gonna be like, why the fuck was Jag hanging on so long?
Yeah.
And they're gonna be scared about that. So, or like if another veto competition happens and he does really well, they're gonna be like, So I do think very quickly, like 1 or 2 weeks, he could be right on that block. So that's why I'm like, I don't think he got time.
Yeah, he don't have time. I'll give him a 5.5 for smartness. Honestly, that's literally it for being the only nigga who know what the fuck is up. A little bit.
I gave Blue a 4, so I'll give him a 0.5 just because he's a little bit more aware. But I do think his position is way worse than hers. And he also, I think a bad thing about him is that he keeps going to people. But like I said earlier, he just doesn't have the allies that are helping him. I think if he links up with Cory, that'll be really good. Him, Cory, and America. If he can just work on Blue and Matt a little bit more, maybe they'll listen to him. But they seem snow. It's not even snow. It's blizzard. Like, bitch. Like, it's like they're buried, bitch. Like, but and that's what sucks. However, they're not gonna put him up. Well, Matt, I honestly don't trust Blue. I think Blue would do whatever. So it really depends. It really depends. But it does seem like he has nowhere to go.
They wouldn't even try with Blue. So I don't think it would happen. So I think he has America, Matt, and Blue not gonna put him up for now. But yes, boom. Let's move on to the Fields family. Starting with Izzy is.
Izzy is what you got? Izzy is just what I hate about Izzy is
that's not what I'm asking. Gameplay wise, what do you
think? What I hate, it kind of goes back to the beginning of the podcast. It's just that I feel like her, even more than Felicia, it's like she thrives to be on Cirie's like good side and be in Cirie's circle and decide what Cirie's deciding and it just feels like a lot of times she has her own connections that she will throw away, and I do think that her social game is kind of lacking at this moment. Like I don't think she's doing good at making these personal in-depth connections with the people that she's working with, as where Cirie and Felicia, they're taking time to do that, to reaffirm and reassure people. I think a lot of her protection is coming from being her proximity to Cirie, which I will say, eat it up. I think she's using that to her advantage. She's definitely a fan of Cirie. So clearly she knows if you work with Cirie, baby, you get to the end and you may win. But when you get into that, she has all of these like random emotional moments where she's like, well, I know in this 4, I'm number 4 and I can't be Cory. I can't be Jared. I can't be Cirie. And I don't know if I want to go to the end with Cirie. And I don't know if I want to go to the end with Jared. Like, who am I going to take? And then she takes these issues to them. Jared is getting annoyed by it. Cirie, I think she is dealing with it. I think Cirie has dealt with a lot of crazy personalities over her years. So I think, and she also, I think, is honestly, a little bit more scared that she's coming out. I think Jared's like, we can get her out. It's fine. But I think Cirie's a little bit more like, we have to maintain. But I do feel like this is going to be a reoccurring issue. Izzy needs a lot of reassurance, and she's very paranoid and very emotional. All of that in connection, and she's a Sagittarius, so all of that in connection with each other is just like it's almost always an explosion ready to happen. And I do think that if some shift can ever take place, she might be one of the bigger casualties because no one really. I think when you can break it down, who really likes Izzy? No shade.
Yeah.
Not like I think people, of course, like her being around. It's not like we just don't want her in the house, but I just think they would prefer any of her allies over her, and she realizes that. And I don't think she's doing anything to fix that because that's the thing. Izzy could still ride them to the end and win, but she's not setting up any path for that to happen.
Yeah.
And that's my issue.
Yeah.
Because she's in the core. Because she's in the core, I'll say it's a 6.
Yeah.
I think that I think like it's crazy because she is emotionally this very like emotional person, but I think that when it comes to strategy, she does well at pivoting and adapting along with Cirie and going to people and having these conversations and helping bringing these groups together. She does a lot of good active work that benefits their entire group. But that's the issue. She's not playing for herself, isn't she's not playing for herself. She's playing for the Fields family. And that's where her mistake is at because she's not going to win.
I agree. I think she's in a great position. She is in a great position. She's in damn near every variation of a core that there can be, except the black one, because she's not black. But if she's black, she'd be in that too. So I think I like that she's so well insulated. Every positive about Cirie's position is damn near equal with Izzy because Izzy is seen more as Cirie's number 2 than even Jared is. There's cores that Jared isn't even in because Izzy's in it, but Izzy is in it. And so I really do like that about her position. And she helps put in work for some of these situations. So that's cute too. But she's been really lacking on the gameplay. I do think she's going to pick it up. She can't lack for too long. So I expect in the future for her to start doing a lot of more socializing and shit like that. But right now, she's being out socialized by damn near everybody in this alliance. Down to Blue. Blue snitching on people and da da da. Like Izzy's maintaining her relationship with Felicia, Jared, and Cirie and Cory. But creating new relationships with the new people added into this structure, she's not really doing. So I'm gonna keep her at the 6-2. I have a lot of I think if there's someone who can win, I think these next people are the people who I'm like could actually win the game. Honestly, Cirie and up are actually have potential to win the game. Izzy and up. So I'm still gonna give her a 6 because she could probably still win the game in my opinion. Miss Felicia won HOH. I feel like
this is a successful HOH.
It is technically, because she helped create a new alliance. She's in a core within that alliance. She's in the core outside of that alliance with the Brown Sugar Babies. She's helping protect Mecole in a lot of ways. Miss Felicia is creating really good relationships within this alliance with Jag, Blue, and Matt, all individually. She also has a good relationship with America, randomly. So Miss Felicia has a lot of places covered. She's also in Bye Bye Bitches, so Bowie is covered. She's in Professionals, so Red is covered, and that's basically everyone in the house. So I think Miss Felicia is pretty damn safe. Might even be a little bit more safe than Cirie because if people target Cirie, they're probably gonna target Cirie and Izzy. So I don't think anyone's gonna nom Miss Felicia at this point. Actually, ever. I think Miss Felicia's making it final too. So I really like her position, and I feel like personally that her gameplay isn't bad enough for people to not just vote for her. But I think people will just not vote for her because she is up under Cirie, 100%. So it's like, hey, if you and Cirie are final 2, you're losing. If you're in final 2 with Jared, you're probably gonna lose. If you're in final 2 with Izzy, I wouldn't say you just need to lose because both of y'all was up under Cirie, but she might lose in that situation too. So when it comes to capabilities of winning, it's like, but it's top 14. So fuck all that. I'm gonna give her a 7.
Yeah.
Love it for her. Actually, I'm gonna give her a 7.5. I am. Love her position. And I think she's playing pretty decently.
I think honestly, I think it's like I agree with everything you're saying, but I think one of the main reasons why I don't want it would have been a 7, but I'm gonna do the 6.5 only because I just feel like I don't like how she just shifts whenever Cirie says something. You know what I mean? I think I saw a lot of that this week of just we're saying this now, it's this. We're saying this now, so it's gonna be this. Oh, like when like she has the power to put anyone on the block. when the veto was won. And every single name. Well, Mimi asked to go on the block. I don't care. But fuck it. Rand will go on the block. Fine.
Mm-hmm.
Or this person will. And I just don't like that because I do think that she has her own game separate from Cirie. You know, she has her own separate relationships and things like that. And it sucks that instead of considering those, she kind of does what she kind of just does whatever Cirie wants. And that
Yeah.
is just I don't like that at all. But I don't think that Felicia is going home anytime soon. And I do think that she still has potential to win. I mean, this is a huge resume move, and I think there could be more to come because if these comps are equitable, baby,
Mm-hmm.
she can win some more. But I really did not like that. I did not like that at all.
Period. How you feel about Mimi?
Mimi, Mecole, I love Mecole. I do. My sister, I do. So this week it started off. It started off really, really bad because she was included in this middleman alliance. Because she wasn't bringing Cirie and the Fields family information. They felt like we don't know how much we can trust her. The gag is Mecole don't have any information because she ain't talking to nobody. But y'all and everything y'all know, like she knows. Like I don't
Mm-hmm.
understand. Like so, it's like, but because they're assuming that everyone is playing at the same intensity that they are, they assume that clearly, if she's not bringing us information, she's bringing somebody information or she's doing something with somebody. And none of that was the case. Now, I remember, like I said, that night when Bowie realized what was happening and she went to them and was like, hey, I want to be with you guys. I don't want to be a floater. And she literally ended up getting in an alliance that night. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, this is what Mecole needs to be doing.
Yeah.
But she went to sleep that night. And I was like, shit. And I was like, okay, Mimi, wake up, do a 180, gag him. She woke
Mm-hmm.
up, sat on the couch.
Yep.
Damn the whole entire day.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm seeing slowly is her starting to be around them more. She's starting to talk game with them a little bit more. Just giving them FaceTime. Because there was a lot of times where like literally I was
Here's
watching
me.
that entire next day just to see because people would say it, but I never saw it. And I was watching and Mimi would just not be around them. But maybe just be minding her business. You know what I mean? However,
All her business in the big red house.
that's what I'm saying. This is a
You can
social
be up
game,
in all everybody
and
business.
and this is a social game, and that really, I think at the end of the day, I'm not going to just blame Mimi for 90% delusional and paranoia, but at the same time, if she was strengthening those bonds, it would have never came up. So I think it's about, it can go either way. But I think that, like I said, towards the end of this week, she's been really strengthening her relationships. Today, Cirie mentioned that I believe Amy is with us, but she wants to present like she's in the middle, which isn't even the case. She just minds her business. But they do think she's now with them, and she's not a name that's being considered as a target at all. She could be pawned potentially, but she's not targeted. People are realizing where she stands because everything is getting exposed, and she's not in any of it, believe it or not. But so that's really good. However, I just think that it's very clear that her loyalty is to Brown Sugar Babies. She had a conversation with Jared today about the group and how they're doing this for a bigger cause, and it means a lot and how it's very important. So she's exactly what I thought. She's loyal to that core, and that being her core, she's not gonna end up working with Cory. That's not gonna be the final two with Cory that we all hope for. She's not gonna actually make a relationship with America. She has no relationship damn near with Blue, Matt, and Jag likes her, but they don't talk strategically. And the people in her own group, they're just now starting to like her a little bit more. Now, the good thing is she has a kind of pseudo proximity to Cirie through Brown Sugar Baby. So she has a slight proximity to her. And because she's kind of on her good side right now, that's helpful. Maybe for like a top 10, top 9, maybe top 6 scenario. But because she's so loyal to the Brown Sugar Baby of it all, I just think that is going to eventually just fuck her up. Like, I think that Mimi will always be collateral damage at some point unless she does a complete 180. But I don't think she has the tools or information to do so.
Or want.
Or want. Yeah, she wants to be loyal to the Brown Sugar Baby. So that's really bad. I'll say it's a 4.5.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like literally the only way at this point we'll turn around is if she seriously starts working with Cory, which is not going to happen, and start just. I would love if she was in this position and she's loyal to the Brown Sugar Babies, but she has a relationship with Blue, Matt, Cory, America, to where no one is considering putting her up, and she's good on all fronts. But that's not even the case.
Mm-hmm.
She's just in the core of the Brown Sugar Babies because the professors don't even exist anymore.
Yeah.
So it's like, ugh.
Yeah. I agree with a lot of things you said. I'm gonna give her a 4. I just feel like
Damn, sister,
I just that thing
sister.
you brought me down. I just feel like it's
Don't put this on me.
first of all she was thought about she was first thought about a target when the alliance was having a conversation. Then she was thought about as a pawn, and then they were like, well, maybe we can bring her in since she's not within it with them the other people. And Jag brought this up, and Jared, Izzy were the main people like no. And it's like Jared is in the Brown Sugar Babies. Izzy is friends and close allies with all of the Brown Sugar Babies, and they're your biggest ops. Nobody else said anything about you getting brought in. So it's like Jared really does not seem to be that fond of her because even in that meeting, Felicia's like, "Oh yeah, we definitely have Mimi and Cory as numbers outside the alliance," and he's like, "Well, we have Cory for sure." And Felicia's like, well, we have Mimi for sure too, but I don't think Jared sees Mimi as a for sure. I think Jared sees Mimi as someone who can go pre-jury, someone who can go first in jury. I think she doesn't have the people in Brown Sugar Babies prioritizing her. Maybe Felicia and Cirie are going to try to start doing that a little more, but I don't think it's ever going to give enough because she hasn't been playing hard enough. She's kind of just been chilling. And I think she thinks that's a good strategy, and it is in the sense that she's not being grouped with these other people anymore. But that's all. That's all. You're not in the core. You could have been a part of it, and they said no. Like it's just it's not really good for her. Well, she's in the Brown Sugar Babies core, but she's not in the big alliance, and they said no to adding her, which is crazy. I feel like them all being in the Brown Sugar Babies, Mecole being in that 8 would have been perfect for them if they actually cared about that
That's not their
alliance.
actual whore, though.
And they don't care about that alliance. Their core is probably more so Crossroads than it'll ever be
It
her.
definitely is.
And it's like, so because of that, I don't see a good path. I see her potentially making it to top 6, potentially maybe winning the conference too, but she's not gonna. I don't think she's gonna make the end game with this type of gameplay. Definitely not. You're not doing anything. You're not. Now to Jared. Body count.
Who hunted?
Who hunted body count? Jared is in a okay. He's in a good position, but he's not that good of a player because niggas is clocking him left and right. America done clocked him. Jag done clocked him. Hisam does spread his name all through the mud. So a lot of people do not trust Jared. That used to trust Jared, and he's not doing that good of a work of fixing that. He's focused on Blue a lot. Blue's not helping his game. He's helping Blue's game. He's benefiting almost nothing off of linking up with Blue. There's people talking about so maybe we need to nom them together because they're showmans now. So it's like you're like honestly his game is getting worse and worse each week. But he's still actually he's the only person actually related to Cirie. We talking about Cirie's sons. This is actually Cirie's son. So when it comes to proximity to Cirie, he is by blood.
By blood, bitch.
By blood, the closest. So he definitely gets the majority of that benefit. So even though I don't think he's playing that well, I don't think he's keeping up a lot of his relationships. I thought he was at the beginning of the week, but it just quickly went away. The way people don't even like Jag doesn't trust him at all.
Yeah.
America doesn't trust him at all, and those aren't necessary people. And he still does have the trust of Cory. He still has Cirie. He still has Izzy. He still has Felicia. Mecole wants to work with him. So he has a lot of people still trusting him. This is a good amount of the cast. But he just overestimates his abilities. He thinks he can run Matt. He thinks he's running America and them still. And it's like, baby, they don't even trust you anymore. He did a terrible job at defending himself when Jag kind of called him out. So I just think when it comes to the skills of the game, he's lacking. That's why I'm like, you're lacking at the skills of the game. But his position is just amazing because he's Cirie's son. Still amazing. Even though those people don't necessarily trust him, they ain't gonna get him out. They're not gonna target him, nothing. So because of that, I'm gonna give him a I just feel like he's not playing good at all to me. So the position is just there. Like he's almost a shoe-in for the end game. That Cory relationship for real is clutch. Cory thinks that's his final two, like low key for real. I'm giving him a 7. I'm giving him a 7. And I think this nigga finna low key win the game, y'all. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I think the 7 is accurate. He definitely benefits a lot, especially like we know this last week. There's a shift now. You know, Jag, Matt, Jag and Matt specifically, they're more loyal to Cirie, the Cirie, Felicia, Izzy side of things. Like they're now going to them, and they're considering bringing Jared in. It's not Jared now getting y'all in; it's them getting Jared in.
Yeah.
It's like everyone trusts Jared through Cirie because Cirie trusts Jared. We trust Jared. If every core alliance, and Cirie makes one every hour, that she's in, he is going to be attached to in some way. And because she is his son, they're able to, you know, basically run any group from the inside out because
Mhm.
he's able to disperse. And I think one of the good things he's doing for his position is his disbursement of
Yeah.
speaking to several people. Now, like he's mentioned, it's not necessarily doing good with everybody because there are people who still are questioning him, but he's allowing himself to be this free agent still. And I think that it's always going to come back to bite every single person in this game. Like even
Mhm.
America at some point this week felt comfortable
Yeah.
telling this man enough that Cirie and Izzy are on that side, and we have to, kind of
Mhm.
line up to go against them, and that fucked her up. And I think things like that are going to continue to happen. Even if Jag doesn't trust Jared now, I think at the time, if Jag wants to flip, he's going to go
Mhm.
to Jared. Everyone is going to go to Jared, and I think if there's some way somehow Cirie does get cut and he's in final two, I think Jared does take it over Felicia, over Izzy, because at this point, that's who he's going to be next to. Because they're gonna have the votes as well. Like once all the make jury are all gonna have the votes. Like even if he's next to Cory, like it doesn't matter. They're all just gonna vote Jared. So
Mhm.
yeah, like he's benefiting a lot. That's why I'm gonna need to really just win. Because I would hate if she did all of this great work and Jared just wins from the benefit. It would literally give me between three all over again.
Yeah.
So don't want that to happen. But I do think that given the position, he's getting to play the game on an easier mode. And with the position, he's like he could just be sitting there. And I do like that, for example, the Cory relationship. He's told Cory about the brown sugar babies. He immediately told Cory about the seven deadly sins. Like they
Mhm.
speak very openly and
I
it's
feel
like
like that's good on
the
Cory. That's good
relationship.
on Jared, though.
Well, no, it's like at the end of the day, like Cory did extend the branch, but there are people that he's extended the branch to in this cast, and they didn't bite at all. And
Yeah.
Cory is one of the main defectors potentially from the Cirie family that could really fuck them up. And because Jared is continuing to present himself as someone that is so loyal to Cory, that's
Yeah.
helping a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a 7.
It is. How do you feel? How do you feel about Cory? No, we talking about
I like Cory a lot. He like that's the thing. Like he's an official Fields family. Like the way Cirie, Jared,
him.
and Izzy have all separately said they are only loyal to each other,
Yeah. And Cory.
Cory and Felicia. And
Yeah.
Cory gets mixed over Felicia
Yeah.
sometimes. So Cory did a really, 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 really good job of ingratiating himself into this group. It reminds me a lot of what Ian did in BB14 when he went to Dan and Brittany and created the Quack Pack, and he kind of just rolled that and he won his way to the end.
Mhm.
Now that would eat if Cory had a run like that. That would be
Mhm.
nasty, and I would love it because Cory is actually self-aware. No shade to Ian. Like I don't think Ian was as aware of how people felt about him in the game and necessarily all of the social standings. Cory has this entire group clocked as if he's Cirie's son for real. You know what I mean? I think he knows where everyone places at in the game and he understands his own place. The issue is he doesn't have the power because he's not Cirie and he's not Jared for real. He's just kind of
Mhm.
connected to him. So it's like there's people that he could have, like America, now a target. Someone like Jag, who he was at first targeting, but now realized he may need, is also a target. He's
Mhm.
not going to get Matt or Blue. Red and Cameron, targets. Mimi don't want him. So everywhere Cory is going to, he can't get help. And he can't win and make the target himself because Cory would be out. I think
Mhm.
Cory's best bet to just stay in the game is stick with them because he's getting top 5. He's getting at least top 5. They want him in their in game, and that's great because I can see Cory winning a good old nasty booth comp, winning a good old nasty BB comp. You know what I mean? So it
Mhm.
could get really interesting this in game, and depending on who's there. Maybe if Mecole makes it there, she's forced to work with him because, he's like, look, girl, so I don't know. I think
Mhm.
there's a slight path, but it's mainly because of that proximity too. I love that he's so aware, and I do think he has the potential to make a move. It's just I mentioned earlier. I mean, Cirie's grip is strong. Okay,
Yeah.
it is, and I just don't think he'll ever get the chance. And if he did, the thing is, no, he won't go to Jared because he's now aware that Jared is close to them and he understands. He gets it. So it's like, honestly, he may just never get the chance to. And I think that he's aware enough to know he might not. Like, for example, you weren't saying this. Do you think if America were to win, does he just convince her to take out Cirie or Izzy?
I don't. I think he should. But the issue with that is if one of them go, his connection to the power structure is now gone. He kind of
And he
needs.
could pick up those pieces, maybe, or Jared would. The thing, I mean, a sloppier power structure ran by Jared or Izzy is better than Cirie's.
That's true, but he's not getting Cirie out. If he were to take someone out, it would be Izzy.
It's still better for him, I
which
think,
which
because
could help,
he's in
but
top
this
four now.
is the
You
issue.
know,
Everyone knows America is going to tell Cory her plan. Period. Everyone knows America's closest ally is Cory. So if America ends up doing some shit, Cirie and Izzy, paranoid ass, are going to immediately. Cory didn't know, and if Cory lies and says I don't know, you think Cirie, mother of the entirety, is not going to clock? Like, I don't think it's going to work. And honestly, I don't think he should necessarily do it before certain other people go home. It's kind of still a lot of people here, babe. If shit get too wobbly, it's like, ooh, the only people who really got Cory in the core is Cirie and them.
yeah.
Without them, he's not in nobody else's core yet. So it's like it's an interesting idea. I don't think I'd do it, and I don't think he should. I feel like he should, but also I feel like he shouldn't. It's because he probably going to lose regardless, so maybe he should just do it. But people in the game aren't going to think that. People are going to think, what's my best way to the end? And I think he does think he's probably going to need to stay with them at least till jury, or at least closer to jury before he's doing this. It's top 13. I think he'd be scared. But I will say about Cory. Oh, what do you want to rate him? How do you feel?
I'm gonna go with a 6.5. I think it would definitely be higher if he was able to keep some of those pieces that he wants, but they're leaving at a rapid pace. So he's set up for the end game, but it's going to be a hard pass dealing with the Fields family because he's an adopted member.
Yeah, I don't think he's set up for the end game. Me personally, I agree with a lot of everything else. I think Cirie, it's just in a typical season with the typical main person running it, he would be set up for the end game. This is Cirie. I think once enough people are gone and she's looking at top 10 and it's easy to see everyone on the screen, she's gonna be like, Cory has to go. Because if it gets down to Cory, Blue, and Matt, and Cirie is like, we gotta take out Blue, I think we would be calling Cirie dumb. Like, Cirie is not dumb. If it's literally just her core, Blue, Cory, and Matt, and she takes out Blue or Matt, she's stupid as fuck. And I know Cirie is not stupid as fuck. And because it's Cirie, who I think is one of the smartest players ever, I 100% think she's gonna cut Cory before he gets to that that 5. I think it might be 7 or 8, but I don't think Cirie is gonna allow Cory to make it that far. Cirie is way smarter than I think to let Cory make Final 5. Letting Cory make Final 5 would be the stupidest shit ever. Cirie's not stupid. So I honestly don't think he's gonna be. I think eventually, as more people go, his threat level gonna keep getting talked about. Cory's gonna start getting talked because they still kind of sprinkle. We trust Cory, but every once in a while. But they trust him so much, which is good. But that's gonna go away when they start trusting a lot of people in the house. The house gonna be Izzy, Felicia, Jared. We trust all of them. So, and are we gonna waste an HOH on Blue when it's just Blue or Cory? No, we shouldn't. And I don't think she would. I'm still going to give him 6.5. He's in a great position. Not a great position, but he's in a really, really good position. And I feel like he's, other than Felicia, Jared, Izzy, Cirie, he has the best chance of winning this game. And he has a lot of great game sense. He's super, super smart. The connection with Jared is really, really good. They might even try to cut Izzy instead of Cory. Like, even though I said what I said, and I think Cirie would be smart enough to cut him, there's potential for it to not happen for sure. Mm-hmm. I think Cirie is OP. I do. I think Cirie is a big ass boss. And I don't think she's going to let him slip by like that. That would be crazy. If Cirie let him slip by, I would be like, oh, maybe I don't think of Cirie the way I do. And I doubt that's going to happen. So that's why I'm like, ooh, he's playing against a monster. I would love to see Cory come back, or I would love to have seen Cory. Cory and America, the main two, I'm like, if they would have played in just this normal, Cory probably could have won this season, in my opinion, without Cirie. But Cirie here, girl. Speaking of Cirie.
Mother.
This is my mama. She is actually
Lee Fields and Cheryl Fields.
Mine and everyone's a mom.
I mean, this is a mother.
This is mother.
Okay.
Mother Mary rise to the top.
I am your leader. Yes, I am your leader. You not a believer.
Cirie has interaction with everyone in the house. What I really love about Cirie is she's very good at making sure she's covered at all angles, because the Matt Jag, her thing is so random but so clutch. It's really going to make Matt feed her so much information, trust her more than everyone. I think Jared, Matt, Felicia, Izzy, Mecole all trust Cirie the most. Yeah. I think Cory trusts her the second most. Blue and America, or Blue trusts her a lot too. The only people who don't trust her, Red trusts her the most too, after Cameron. Cameron trusts her the most too after Red. So Bowie trusts her the most too. Really, probably just the most. The only person who doesn't trust Cirie the most is America, who is going home. Who Cirie is talking about making sure goes home very soon. So I think Cirie is going to be really, really good in this game. I think she's just going to walk to the end. I always felt it. I was just confused by the way she was playing the game. But now that we're 3 weeks in, I'm very certain of her gameplay. I think she really does know exactly what she's doing, and she's extremely good at this game to the point where I don't think that there's going to be a lot of room for anyone to take her down in this competition. I think if she doesn't win, it's literally going to be Jared. I don't think she's going to let anyone else get close to that money but her or her literal son. So I'm going to give her a 9.5. Not a lot of mistakes that I feel like she's made. Even the people who are clocking her, I feel like if they take a target, Izzy's going to go home. And I don't even think they're going to take a shot because they still trust her. Red and Cameron clocked her, but Red and Cameron still trust her. So I think they'll win and take out Jag.
Yeah.
100%. So I think she's going to win the game.
I agree with all your sentiments, only because I'm a little conservative and I don't like handing out nines and things that early on. But I'm going to say it's an 8. And I mean, honestly, everyone keeps talking about it. I mean, this is a masterclass strategy. We're watching her, change the game changer, like the evolution of Big Brother. The way, honestly, she's mixing Survivor strategy and turning it into this meta Big Brother strategy with these voting block alliances. I mean, the fact that she is in several onions, several cores across the entire season. There's not one person. Other than like I will say like a Cameron that's considering her, but he has no power to take her out. Mm-hmm. Even if he wanted to, he would never get the shot. So I mean, I just think the hold that she has on this game is so iconic, and because she's playing light years ahead of everyone in this game, no one can catch up to where she is. That's why the proximity to her is just giving people safety. You know what I mean? This is probably, like I said, top tier Big Brother player, and I just think it's honestly phenomenal to watch. It kind of is. Like I said last week, it is annoying when it's like there's no basis behind some of these things, but when you see her create these new cores and create these new structures, and she's at the center of this group, and she has a final 2 deal with this random person, and then you mentioned this off the podcast. You was like how, Izzy and Felicia, they're the ones who are seen as the mouthpieces. Like Felicia arguing with Jag, Izzy will go off on the bitch in a minute. Cirie is the one. What? She said that? I need to go talk to her. And then she's reassuring individuals like, did you hear that this person was coming after you? Like, and
she told Red that people were targeting her. The people
literally. And this is what got Red so active. I mean, she's turning people against each other while also working with them all. I mean, it's
this is a lot of positives. 8.5?
8.5? 8.5. 8.5. Fuck it.
Like, this
she really is mother. Like I said, it's only because I was like, damn, it's early. It's still week 3. But there's no doubt in my mind that she's not going to be in this end game. And it's so iconic. Like, they would have to fuck themselves up. And that's why I thought last week the delusion burned them out. But now I just feel like this is going to...
It just fuels them at 50.
Yeah. This is going to keep happening. It's going to keep shifting. It's going to keep moving. And she's now locked the game up to a point to where she can just do it freely. And she's just going to sit back and let her allies do it for her. And guess what? She's aligned with everybody. So anyone who wins is keeping her.
And even if someone else isn't good in her alliance ever, she's good. 100%. Period. So this is the list. This is the order. I think it's pretty good. I think the only thing, other than the proximity to her, is that, I think Cory and Jag are decent players. Yeah. Cory and Jag are, other than the Fields family, honestly, probably other than Cirie. I genuinely think if this season was normal, if this season didn't have Cirie in it, Jag would probably be running a majority alliance. Cory would be snaking his way around. 5.5. Who at 5.5?
You really boosted Jag high with this 5.5, because, girl, he should not be higher than Matt.
He would still be higher than Matt if I gave him a 5.
He shouldn't be given a 5.
That's 0.5 off. Calm down. I think Jag is just honestly just a better player than everybody else here, other than Cory and Cirie and Phil's family. Matt is not doing anything. Please be serious. But yes. Boom. This is cute. I like the ranking. Love it. We'll see how it progresses. Honestly, y'all, I just think everyone else's rating is gonna go lower and lower, and Cerie's is just gonna go higher and higher. That's my perception. I just think Cerie is gonna continue to grow and grow and grow and become tens and tens and tens. Everyone else is gonna be like, well, you're just gonna eventually go home because Cerie's gonna eventually win. Um, and that's literally probably it. It's not I be home. This is not it.
And I will say, like, I understand because beginning this week before coming to this, it was like I was like, oh, Pharaoh, don't be sad, because BB24 very early on in the game, this is unwatchable, and I was like, I don't want it to feel like unwatchable because I have a bias towards Serena a little bit. I'm like, I mean, I'm down for the ride, but I can definitely see how any Big Brother fan you probably wouldn't like what's going on here, but
yeah, it's just going, and that thing I don't think it's ever going to get unwatchable. It's still Mother. It's just I think it's just going to become a little bit. It's going to become more and more predictable every week. It's going to get okay. This is a little bit more predictable. It's a little bit more predictable. It's already kind of starting to feel that way for me. Like I know, for Red or that's the thing. I would love if it's a shakeup and Red or Cameron win HOH because then it's like, oh, never mind.
Yeah. I want America. I would love
America would take out Red. I'd be like, oh, never mind.
You're right.
So I kind of want Red. But Red would just take out Jag and he would go back to Red and Cameron. That's the it's always.
And I feel like update that said Red and Cameron don't even like America now. So it's like everyone is just stupidly hating each other, and Cirie is at the top winning. So regardless,
it's still gonna be a great season.
I do want America to get her HOH win before she goes.
Okay, what's your predictions for next week? What do you think is actually going to happen? And then I know you want America to win. Okay, you want America to win. Who do you want her to take out?
If she were to win, she needs to take out someone in that core. Even if you go home next, girl, take out a big player. Don't get up here and take out Red or Cameron or Bowie.
So she can get.
Or you know what? No. Because I did mention earlier. Okay. Maybe make the move on Red and Cameron. Because I do think, regardless of who wins, Red or Cameron is going home next week. I feel like that's definitely happening.
Yeah.
Unless it's America, but I think that Red or Cameron target is too big right now. And maybe if she's able to do that, I still want her to win because even if she does that, then she can build favor with them. So she needs to win and build favor with them potentially, or get one of the motherfuckers out. But I do want America to win HOH.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and who do you think? What do you think is going to happen? You just think Red's going to go home regardless, and you don't have any thoughts about that. You just think Red's going to go home next week, basically.
Red or Cameron.
Yeah, that's my prediction too. Most likely Red or Cameron, and I don't. It doesn't even matter who's HOH. It's probably going to be Red or Cameron. Who's your favorite to least favorite? Maybe not the whole cast, but who's your 2 top favorite and 2 least favorite house guests?
Favorites, Mimi, and Cirie. Yeah, okay. It would be Mimi and Cirie for most favorite, and least favorite would have to be. Jared pisses me off a lot, but is he my least favorite? He might be.
He should be.
Yeah, it might be Jared and Blue right now. No one else is pissing me off. Cameron was annoying and weird the first 2 weeks, but he really ain't did shit. It would be low. It would be Jared and Blue. Yeah, they're annoying.
My most favorite is Mimi and Cory.
Cory, he my top 3 most favorite. He up there with Mimi and Cirie.
Period. And my least favorite, Blue and Jared also. I don't like Cameron either. You can put all 3 of them. Is Jared giving Monty? You answer that.
It's a fair comparison. A lot of the black men have been similar in a lot of ways.
It's like just a shot to the heart. But yeah, I think I predict just Red and Cameron going home. A cakewalk for Cirie. So I love that for this game. Give her win again.
Give her 10s.
Give her money and give her 10. You didn't give her 10. You have 8.5.
I will when she wins the game.
Period. I know that. But yes, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for keeping it real with the kingdom for tonight or whatever. Be sure to check in with our other videos on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We go talk about Big Brother and we talk about the challenge and Survivor and shit's gonna come up real soon. Right. So get into all of that or whatever. Make sure you follow us at T Reality Kingdom or whatever. And girl, we're out. Period.